all doing? Welcome back to Premier League Dad. My name's Kee. We're live for another game this morning. Australia against Japan, FIFA World Cup Qualifier. On the other side of the world, we're live watching it. It's great. I'm looking forward to this one. I think Japan... I mean, Australia, they need to win. I think Australia... They've had an half-decent World Cup qualifying campaign, and Japan, as you'd expect, top the league. And I'm looking forward to seeing quite a few of the old Liverpool. I mean, there's Endo, there's Minamino, there's all... I'm going to go through the lineup shortly, but I do think that there's a real opportunity here, I think, for Japan. It's listed as the Asia World Championship. It's a 12 kick-off, this one. Australia v Japan. Right, yes, so Japan at 20. They're on 20 points. They're 20 points. They're clear. They're pretty much through to the World Cup. Australia are only 3 points ahead of Saudi Arabia. And Saudi Arabia, I believe, are they playing Bahrain later today? Saudi Arabia, Bahrain, it is later today, 5 o'clock, they play Bahrain. So Saudis are hot on the tails, and Australia have got a good chance to get back into the World Cup automatically with Japan. Australia definitely need the win, yeah, and it's going to be a really, really good game, this one. I've got a lot riding on it. Substub, how's it going, mate? How's it going? 1 second, Sam. Hello, mate. How can you watch this? I'm watching it on OneFootball. I think you can watch it in other places. I don't know where else you can watch it, but I'm watching it on OneFootball. They're a good team, Australia, mate. They are, yeah. I was going to say they've started quite well. I think going forward, they've been quite good. I saw, who was it they played last in one? Was it like 5-0? Was it Indonesia? 5-1 Indonesia. I watched that game. I didn't catch the China game, but I did watch Australia v Indonesia. So, yeah, looking forward to this one. Really, really good game. And we are about 35 minutes away from kickoff. 12 is the kickoff time. So, I'll let you know the lineups. We'll be talking about all the build-up, and we'll go through all the scores and all that sort of stuff. We'll do all that. But, yeah, I'm a little bit all over the place this morning. I woke up late. I went to bed late. I went to bed late and I woke up late. So I'm a little bit all over the place. Stub, why have you done a game at this time on a weekday? People working, you'd be lucky to get hours in. Well, I know. But I wanted to watch this game. So this is a selfish one, to be honest. This is a selfish one. I wanted to watch this. And I thought, do you know what? I'm going to watch it. So we might as well just do a live. Sam, considering it's not their national sport, it's cricket and rugby, I think. Or Aussie rules. Yeah, it might be Aussie rules. I don't know. Yeah. To be honest, footy, they do like footy over there, don't they? Ange Postecoglou flying the flag in the Premier League. Right, listen, yeah, I am a little bit all over the place this morning. Definitely started late. So yeah, I will... Let's get stuck into this. Let's get stuck in. I am. I need to wake up. I can't tell you how much of a kerfuffle it's been this morning, getting all set up and everything. I was pretty much asleep like an hour ago. And I didn't set my alarm, stupidly. But I was awake till the early hours of the morning looking after me. I've got a very sick dog. We've got a very sick dog who's very poorly. And he cries into the night because he's recovering from surgery and all sorts. So we're just trying to settle him. But without telling you my whole life story, let's get stuck into Australia and Japan. Sam, is there 2 streams today, mate? Yes, there is 2 streams today. We've got this one, and then I get a little bit of an hour or 2 to compose myself. And then tonight we have the second. We have the second of the UEFA Nations League games. We obviously watched Germany last night go out against Portugal. That was a great game. Saw Florian Wirtz for Liverpool doing his stuff. What a signing he's going to be. And then tonight we've got... who have we got tonight? France and Spain. Can't believe I lost my head there. France and Spain tonight we've got. Substub, see if you had me as a mod, I could help. You could, mate. Honestly, I needed to do that last night. I remembered after the game, I took everything off and I was like, right, I'm going back. And I was like, I needed to set some mods up. So I will do that. But I can only do it off the stream on YouTube Studio. So I need to sort that out. Sam, hope your dog gets better soon, mate. Thanks, Sam. Really appreciate that, man. I hope so too. I love him to bits. He's my little boy, but he's just hard work at the minute, and I can't bear the thought of having to make a big decision for him. But we just got to keep going and hope he gets better over the next couple of months. So yes, right. Let's forget the footy. Forget that. Let's get into the footy. Let's get into the footy. I'm going to end up tearing up and telling my life story here. Australia v Japan. 30 minutes to kick off. This match is, as always, sponsored by Match Bingo. Match Bingo are sponsors on the Premier League Dad channel. They're a fantastic new app. If you like a bet on the football, I am absolutely certain you're going to love them. If you don't like a bet on the football, don't stay away from them. They're not your thing. But if you do like a bet on the footy and you do like a game of bingo, then I am absolutely certain you will love them to bits. It's a fantastic, genius combination of the two things in this app. All the fun you'd associate with a game of bingo and all the fun you'd associate with a bet on the football. So what you do is you buy a bingo card, you get 15 random events on that bingo card, and it will say things like corner to Australia, throw into Japan, right? And as those things happen during the game, it ticks it off on your bingo card. You get prizes for a line, prizes for 2 lines, and prizes for a full house as well. And then you can win a small fortune on it. Go and check it out. If you scan the QR code on screen throughout the game today, you can deposit £5. Download the app, set up your account, deposit £5. You get £10 free. It's absolutely brilliant. You can also click the link in my description at any point to do that. Absolutely great bunch of guys over there at Match Bingo. They've got over 10,000 players in the UK and really growing very, very quickly. And they've paid out over 200 grand in prize money. So go and check them out. Massive thanks to Match Bingo for supporting the channel. And they'll be supporting us going forward into the 25-26 season too. So with that said, let's get stuck in. Substub, do you want me to wait around or can you do it without me? I don't know what you mean. Oh, for this one, if you're staying, mate, you can stay. If not, then I can't make you a mod on this one. I'd need to have a look after YouTube Studio, and again, it's going to depend how many people we need, how many, not every game has them thingies in. You know, the spam bots we got last night. I would like Japan to win as they are the weaker team. Japan aren't the weaker team. Japan are absolutely not the weaker team here, mate. I mean, Australia aren't. I wouldn't categorise Australia as a weak team. But Japan aren't the weaker team, you know. No, Japan are really, really good. They're really good. They're top of the group. Japan probably don't need to win. If anything, Australia probably need to win. But, as I say, Japan can cement their place in the World Cup. James, good morning. The Scrum Down live. Morning, Key was one off the Match Bingo last night. Good man. Good man. Very unlucky that, to be fair. Sam, I've got mates over in Australia. Apparently it's mint weather. It's always mint weather in Australia, isn't it? It's lovely. I've never been to Australia, I've got to say. Never been to Australia. But my wife did. My wife lived in Australia for a while. And yeah, she loved it out there. She absolutely loved it. DC, is there a game on now or something? There is, mate. Yes, we're watching Australia v Japan. It's a live World Cup qualifier. I think this is the only footy we've got on in the world, but it's a World Cup qualifier, a 2026 World Cup qualifier. And it's starting at 12:10, half an hour kickoff. So, let's have a little look-see. Have we got the lineups out yet? I'm sure we will. We'll have the lineups out, won't we? Have we got the lineups out for this one? Oh, we certainly do. Here we go. That's good. Oh, no, that is not good at all, actually. Oh, I was hoping that Japan would go a little bit stronger than that. Oh, no. Oh, no. Oh, they've left Endo and Kubo on the bench. Oh, this is grim. I really, really hope. I really, really hope Australia don't win this one. Machina Joe, good to see you, Joe. Premier League Dad, greetings from Sydney. Australia are rubbish. Long gone are the gold players, or the good players. Oh, I don't know. You say they're rubbish. I mean, you know, you've got Burgess, you've got Cameron Burgess, you've got Matt Ryan in goal. Sakati, Palmer's Sakati, he's the fullback, isn't he? Not a bad player. But then you look at Japan. Let's go through Japan's team. So it is Ryan in goal for Australia, sorry. Ryan in goal. Metcalf, Dejanek, Burgess, and then it's Miller and Behic at fullbacks. Then it's O'Neill and Ryan Teague in midfield. Ryan Teague, whatever happened to him? Wasn't there a lot expected of Ryan Teague at one point? And then it's Boyle and Sakati in those sort of number 10 positions. I don't know why Sakati's playing so high forward. And then Brandon Borello of the West Sydney Wanderers up front in that centre forward position. Okay, but yeah, it's been a massively rotated Japan side. I am really concerned now because I did have Japan to win this. They've put Tani in goal, Kosei Tani instead of Zion Suzuki, who we would have expected in goal for this one. They've dropped him. It's Makida, Watanabe and Hiroki at the back. Taratsuru Mida and Sano, Fujita and Hirakawa at the back. Hirakawa, at the back. And then it's Suzuki, Daichi Kamada, of course, who we know from Crystal Palace, and Blackburn's Yuki Ohashi up front. Yuki Ohashi had a decent season for Blackburn last season, didn't he? Let's have a look how many he actually got. He got like 10 to 15. He got 12. He got 12 goals and assists for Blackburn in 35 games, so not a bad player at all. So Yuki Ohashi up front for Japan, and they've got plenty of options on the bench. Wataru Endo, Takefusa Kubo, Morishita, Nakamura's coming on. Sano as well. Sano, lots expected of Sano. Kodai Sano at Nijmegen, top midfielder. Some really good Japanese talent coming through the ranks there. And as I say, we're coming up to kick-off. You can watch this on OneFootball. I'm sure there's other places you can watch it as well, but I don't know where. But I will be watching the game on OneFootball. Monley, Australia, says Christopher Dinnig. Emiliano, good to see you. FM No Casuals 1-1 this. Japan are weakened today too. I know, mate, I've stupidly heavily backed Japan here. I have stupidly backed Japan. Honestly, I am certain, I was certain before kickoff that Japan would do it. Or at very least get a draw. If they get a draw, I'm fine with that, to be honest. I'm fine with a draw. But if Australia win, I'm going to be inconsolable. I'm going to be absolutely inconsolable. Machine Joe, you were talking about the weather. It's cold here, eh? 8 degrees Celsius right now, dropping to 6 overnight. Is it really? No way. Seriously. Sub-stub raining like hell here all day so far. I'm out and about and soaked. Oh, God. It has. It's been raining here too, where I am in the northwest of England. Kuram, Cristiano Ronaldo isn't 40. Someone tell me otherwise. I'm afraid he is, mate, yeah. Didn't play like it last night, I've got to say. Reveal clothing. Unpopular opinion, but Cherky will outshine Wirtz next season. Thoughts? I'm not sure that Cherky starts that often for City. Good player, very, very good player, but I think City are buying him as like a 30 million quid, decent, could go through the roof, couldn't he? Could be one of them players who comes in and really just like, wow, like absolutely sensational. But he has always struck me, Ryan Cherky, as a player that just flipped in and out of games a little bit, like your Dimitri Payets, and very talented. Delta Rap's another one. Delta Rap's is always the one that comes to mind because I remember reading Neil Warnock's biography. You've just got all the talent in the world, but just never quite consistency and application. And I don't think that's the same with Florian Wirtz. We saw that last night in abundance with Florian Wirtz. Florian Wirtz, unbelievable, would do little bits of, nice incisive passes around the edge of the box, and then he'd chase back and he'd sprint back and he'd be the one sprinting back to win it back. He was great. He was getting kicked all over the place and he was straight up kicking them back. I think that's what will make the difference for Florian Wirtz and Ryan Cherky. I really do. Cherky, I think, will come to the Prem. It'll be a rude awakening for him. But I could be wrong. Like you say, I think they're both very, very good players, put it that way. Very, very good players. I know Liverpool were interested in Cherky as well. And Cherky... Look, Arne Slot and Liverpool's data profiling teams have obviously looked at the two, because Arne Slot went and met Ryan Cherky in the south of France, didn't he? He went and met him. Ryan Cherky is a Liverpool fan. He wanted to come to Liverpool. Allegedly, this is the story. He wanted to come to Liverpool, And that's why the City deal has dragged on as long, because Arne Slot went and met him last week. Even in the midst of all this Florian Wirtz stuff, Arne Slot went and met Ryan Cherky. Because it was agreed, it was formally agreed that's what would happen. And he's going to go, maybe we can still work something out. But actually, I think Liverpool have looked and gone, 30 million for Cherky, 120 million for Florian Wirtz. Florian Wirtz is the better value. And there you go. Maybe if they think he's 4 times the player, I guess we'll see. Abs, Ronaldo 1, Liverpool and Germany 0. Football shirt guy. Any Southampton fans in here would like to get your opinion on Russell Martin? He's our new manager. Well, at the football shirt guy, we have Rangers fans in here regularly. We have Southampton fans in here regularly. Ethan is our resident Southampton fan. He's not in here today, I don't believe, or he's not in here at this moment in time. He will be here for tonight's live. We're doing France v Spain. He's almost certainly going to be here for that. But he's not here for this one at this moment. But Russell Martin, if I'm really honest, mate, he's a very underwhelming appointment for Rangers. Yeah, I don't think he's the right appointment at all for Rangers, if I'm really honest. Christopher Dinney, hope Boyle and Miller get a goal. Okay. Yeah, well, they are both starting, I think. Boyle, let's go back to the lineups. Is Boyle starting? Yeah, Boyle's starting and Miller's starting. Obviously, both Hibs players. Yeah, so maybe. We shall see. Emiliano, your prediction for Spain v France? I think Spain do it 2-1. Spain, just about. Abs, Wirtz will be a bench player for Liverpool. Don't be silly. Don't be silly. You're a Hibs fan. Good to see you, Dinny, Christopher Dinny. Abs, I judge him when he plays top-level Premier League football. Yeah, and that's fine. That's fine, and that's going to be the ultimate, litmus test for him, isn't it? Football shirt guy, he is a very underwhelming signing, mate, but I'm trying to be positive. There's no problem with that. Listen, maybe he will. Maybe he'll surprise us. Timmy, what are you watching, lad? Good to see you, Timmy. We're watching Australia v Japan. FIFA World Cup qualifier. So we're watching that. That kicks off at 12:10. Leon, what do you think to Benson and Edges? Roy Benson, Tony Edges, Plymouth Argyle. Hey, I've always said if you're old enough, you're good enough, Abs, Russell Martin is a short-term fix. Reveal Clothing, how far do you see Liverpool going in the Champions League if they get all their targets? All the way. All the way. This is the thing that people often forget. No team has been in more Champions League finals than Liverpool over the last 8 years. No team. Including Real Madrid. Liverpool have been in 3, Real Madrid have been in 3. Right, we've been in a final, a Champions League final, pretty much one every 2 years. Every other year we've been in a Champions League final. So the odds are, we've not been in the last 2, the odds are we're due one, right? So I think we're going to be in a Champions League final this year. All the omens say that too, by the way. The last time Spurs beat an English side in a European final, Liverpool won the European Cup the year after. What more can you say? The last time Spurs beat an English side in a European final, Wolves, in I think 1971, Liverpool won the European Cup the year after. So, there you go. AM10, we're already favourites for the Champions League next season and we haven't even got all our signings. Exactly. Yeah, you know it. Machina Joe, 1 second. Winter started. Oh, crikey, okay. Typical day in winter time in Sydney is 25 degrees Celsius. Machina Joe, I want Spain to win because France beat us on penalties in the quarter-final. A bit of revenge. Real Madrid have been in 5. No, Real Madrid haven't been in 5. Real Madrid have only been in 3, mate. They've been in 2023-24, which was Dortmund, wasn't it? They obviously beat us in whatever that was, 21-22. And then they beat us again in 2018 in Kiev. So last 8 years, 7-8 years, whatever it is, Liverpool have been in 3 finals. Real Madrid have been in 3 finals. Christopher Dinney, I'm a Hibs fan and a Liverpool fan. Nice. Lee, have you got the new Spurs shirt? I don't know. I'm not a Spurs fan, mate. I'm a Liverpool fan. But I do... I guess I collect kits. I don't collect kits, but I do. I guess people would say this is a collection. Tony Snooker fan, hello. I hope Australia wins this. I'm rooting for them. Good to see you, Tony. Sexy Dexy, hello all. First time here and excited for the match. How are we all doing? Good to see you, Sexy. Sexy Dexty. I've got a dog called Dexter, and we sometimes call him Sexy Dexty because he's a little preening poser. But yeah, Sexy Dexty. Cool, like the name. First time here and excited for the match. How are we all doing? I'm doing very, very well. I woke up very, very late and rushed here to get the stream up and running. I'm really looking forward to it. As I say, Australia-Japan, I think it's going to be a good game. Right, 1 second. Let's catch up with the chat. Abs, for Eric Dyer to play for Bayern just shows you the level of the German game. The Bundesliga is a top league, mate. I don't know what world you're talking about. AM10, have you seen Liverpool have rejected Barca's approach for Diaz? I haven't seen that, no. I haven't seen that, but I do know it's on the cards, isn't it? Sexy Dexty, I guess it was just meant to be. Well, good to have you anyway, mate. Good to have you. Are you rooting for anyone in particular in this one? Aussie, Japan? What are your thoughts on it? We do watch-alongs on this channel every single day. We're doing 2 today. We've got Australia, Japan, and we've got Spain v France tonight. But 1 second. Haaland is like Anthony Joshua, a flat-track bully. Oh, God. Tony Snooker fan, which channel is the game on? The game is on... Well, I'm watching it on OneFootball. You can watch it in a number of places. But I'm watching it on OneFootball. Well, yes, mate, do you reckon the Wirtz deal will go ahead? Yes, of course, mate, it's done. It's done and dusted. He said after the game last night he's looking forward to coming to Liverpool. Substub, he's a great host, he's brilliant, he don't lack in any skill, he'll talk about most subjects, so like and sub if you can. Oh, cheers, Substub, top man. Will, there's talks of Kaut possibly coming back to Liverpool as a coach. Can you imagine if he does? I love Dirk Kuyt. Loved him. What a player he was. What a player. Timmy, did you pay for more to watch Amazon tonight? Yes. Yeah, I know what you mean, mate. It's just squeezing you dry. But yeah, I have to pay for Amazon. Sexy Dexty, I'm from Australia, so I'm rooting for our Socceroos. Nice. Whereabouts in Australia? My wife lived in Australia for a good year or so. She did the old skydive at Mission Beach. It's never really been my thing, though. I'm not a lover of the intense heat and just spiders and scorpions and snakes, and I know that's not really that's my stupid, ignorant idea of Australia. I know it's not all like that, but that's just as soon as I think Australia, I'm like, I would absolutely bake. And there would be spiders crawling all over me, and I'd go in the sea to try and cool down, and there'd be box jellyfish and great whites nipping at me and all this. It's just... But that's my totally ignorant opinion of... Not opinion, but my preconceived, I know, totally ignorant, absolutely not accurate view of going to Australia and what Australia would be like. I know that's not the case. My missus always says, "Oh, it's amazing. You'd love it. Come over. You should always. You like. Let's go. It would be amazing. Let's take our little girl. We'll go over there." No chance. Absolutely not. I'm not a lover of flights either, to be honest. Not a lover of flying. So the idea of being on a plane for like 4 days to get there. Modern M, do you sell tops? How much? I mean, I don't sell tops, but if you want to buy one, yeah, I'll make me an offer. Will possibly Here We Go from Romano coming at the weekend potentially? Yeah, I think so. I think it's probably gonna carry on over the weekend and maybe into next week. Machina Joe, spiders are nothing to worry about. Oh, you're including the other. You're including the last one from 2017. Yeah, okay, fine. The last one I included was Kiev, Real Madrid v Liverpool in Kiev. Sexy Dexty, I'm from Sydney and definitely not a fan of the heat either. But I was born here, so I'm forced to put up with it. Scrum Down Live, they have drive-through off licenses in Australia. That's worth the flight alone. Also betting terminals in pubs, stuff of dreams. Substub, I'm so scared of spiders. I'll fight any man but won't touch the littlest spider. Oh God. Machina Joe, every Englishman in Australia loves the sunshine. No snow in the majority of Australia. They didn't think there'd be any snow anywhere in Australia, to be honest. Lee Dixon, top 4 in the Prem season, 25-26. I think Liverpool, City, Arsenal, Chelsea. Yeah, Liverpool, City, Arsenal, Chelsea. 1 second, Timmy. Let me catch up with you. Did you pay for more to watch Amazon tonight? It's a joke. The final is on ITV Sunday. Oh, is it? The final's on ITV. Oh, okay. Well, that's good. Well, I guess it's not good. See, do you know what the frustrating thing is? The frustrating thing is, for me at least, anyway. Not for everyone else. But any time a game is actually on telly, I get nobody on this channel. It's literally like tumbleweed. So I'm a little bit like, every time a game's on, if it's not on the regular like terrestrial telly, my viewing figures are through the roof. We get loads of people in. But then for, games where it's on ITV, then yeah, it's nobody's there. Colin, I've got that mic. Oh yeah, the Quadcast, the HyperX. Yeah, it's nice. FM No Casuals, with my luck, I'd get bitten by a spider on the bog. Yeah, mate, them huntsmen are massive. Absolutely massive. Jordan, how long until Delap goes out on loan? January 26, summer 26. Yeah, I don't think that was a smart move from Liam Delap, was it? That wasn't a smart move at all. Thoughts on Chelsea having 8 keepers? Are they still pushing for Mike Mannion? Ronan, you be watching any match, bro? Mate, Australia-Japan, good game. Really good game. Really good game. Excuse me. Delap should have gone to Everton. I would have thought so. Yeah. Shane, all thoughts on Cucurella? Good player, very good left back. Underrated, I think, for a lot of his time at Chelsea, and a very dislikable left back, I've got to say. Maybe it's just a left back thing. We've got Andy Robertson, and everybody else seems to hate Andy Robertson, but we love him. Like, Andy Robertson, I would go as far as saying he's in my top 5 Liverpool players of all time. I love him. Absolutely love him. He's one of my favourite players. Because he's just a shitbag, isn't he? He's an absolute house. So I just love him. And I think if you've got someone like that, Cucurella is a perfect example of that. Goes down holding his face and, he gets players sent off and all that. It's great. It's absolutely fantastic. Machina Joe, yeah, there's snow in the Aussie Alps, the Great Dividing Range, ski resorts. Well, I didn't know that. And do you know what? Now I feel really stupid. Now I feel incredibly stupid because I am a big geography buff. I read an awful lot about all of the world. I can tell you all the capital cities, all the flags. I'm a bit of a vexillologist. I like reading up on that, but I would never have said ever that Australia has ski resorts. Well, there you go. You learn something new every day. You've taught me something. I feel rather foolish. Substub, if Arsenal get a decent striker that scores at least every 3 games, they could be proper title contenders, I think. Havertz is that, though. Havertz scores every 3 games. He's just not as clinical as they need him to be. And I don't think it's necessarily Arsenal's centre-forward position that's the be-all and end-all for them. I think they need more in midfield. I think that midfield 3 doesn't quite work. Rice is fantastic. Odegaard was poor last season. Partey's leaving. They need probably 1 or 2 in midfield. And Zubamendi is not it. Zubamendi is not it, I am telling you. Yeah, man, Cuckoo gets so much stick but gives his all for Chelsea. FM No Casuals, there's always underlying bias, mind. Robertson is Scottish. Well, I'm not Scottish. I'm not Scottish, but I do like him. AM10, if you had to do a Mount Rushmore for Liverpool, who would it be? What was in all time? Kenny. If we're just talking players, we'll do Kenny Dalglish. Kenny Dalglish. You can't not have Ian Rush. No, I'm gonna pick Kenny, Gerrard. No, I'm not. I'm gonna pick Ian Callaghan. Ian Callaghan, Kenny Dalglish, Steven Gerrard, Mo Salah. There you go. One from each era. Excuse me. Ian Callaghan. My God. Ian Callaghan, Liverpool's all-time appearance holder. Absolutely brilliant. Sub don't understand why people can't watch and be here. We're not watching the footy per se. Well, look, they can be if they want to. It's no problem. Doesn't make any difference to me. I'd like them to, of course. But stick around, it'd be good. But if you don't, then that's fine too. Machina Joe, I know the Australian manager, Popovich. He played for Palace. Yeah, he did, didn't he? He scored one of the worst own goals of all time, though. If you remember, Popovich away at Portsmouth. Have a look at it. It was a proper little, like the Giroud goal. The Giroud Arsenal goal, also against Palace, funnily enough. Popovich scored that basically against Portsmouth. Mad one. Ian Rush must be there. Yeah, I think that's it. I was thinking to myself, can I have Gerrard? Like, in my era, while I've been alive, Gerrard, Van Dijk, Salah would be the three. Maybe even Alisson as well. But you can't have that. Like, if I'm being really selfish, I'm having Robbie Fowler in there. Robbie Fowler was my idol growing up. So I'm having Robbie Fowler in there. I loved Robbie Fowler. Sexy Dex D, I'm a fan of Popovich. Managed my team, Western Sydney Wanderers, when they were created and got them to be the only Aussie team to win the Asian Champions League. Can't complain with that, can you? You can't. I didn't know they'd won the Asian Champions League. Well, it's Borrello. Borrello is up front today. Borrello's for the Western Sydney Wanderers, isn't he? Machina Joe, Ian Rush was my nemesis. You know I support Everton. I didn't know that, Machina. Here's me starting to like you as well. Will, who the F is Ian Callaghan? I was born in 99 but support Liverpool. Well, you can't support Liverpool if you don't know who Ian Callaghan is, mate. He's our record appearance holder. Ian Callaghan is absolutely unbelievable player as well. Played in the 60s and 70s for Liverpool. Top player. AM10, Rush, Gerrard, Salah, Dalglish for me. No, I mean why people get hated more than others. Oh, because he's Scottish. I like Scots. I've got family up in Scotland. I have no problem with the Scots, but maybe there's that old English Scottish thing. Maybe it's a bit of that. I don't know. Right, we're off and under. Well, we're not off and underway, but the coverage just started. It looks an amazing stadium. Where is this being played? AM10, Rice is doing most of the running work in that midfield three, and his best position isn't even the 6. I would agree with that. 100% I'd agree with that. Dream Chaser's boss, my dad might know who Ian Callaghan is. Oh, you'll definitely know. I'm sure your old man will. Absolutely he will. AFC Dave, no matter what player we get, fraud Arteta is still here. Yeah, I think that's going to come to a head this season, isn't it? Mikel Arteta. It is going to come to a head at some point. I think the Arsenal fans are going to get very, very tired of the fact that he's not quite progressing the team anymore. It feels like they're going backwards again. But yeah, look, I think Arteta's done a very, very good job at Arsenal, but I think there is also a world where he has taken them as far as he possibly can. And maybe they need someone else to come in, a different voice. He's been there, six years now? Maybe he just needs a different voice in that team. Well, the Aussies have travelled well. Where is this? I need to have a look. Where is this? Stadium's absolutely brilliant. I have to apologise. I don't know what's wrong with me this morning. It's at the Optus Stadium in Perth. Wow, 65,000 seater. It looks a great stadium, that. Yeah, it looks a brilliant stadium. Sexy Dexty, Barello is definitely making me a bit nervous. Hasn't been very clinical this season. Has missed a fair few sitters. He's defo better as a number 10 role, in my opinion, so let's hope for the best. Machina Joe, they won the Asian Champions League very early on after being created. Some very dubious refereeing decisions helped them in the final. Japanese Nishimura, worst referee ever. Okay. Sam, gonna bake some dinner. Mate, I'll be back. No probs, Sam. Take it easy. We'll see you in a short while. Long live Mech Warrior. Arteta in. Second is an amazing feat. Second, it is. But when he spent the money that he spent, and he keeps buying these, this is his third centre forward he's going to go and get now. The last two that he's bought, Jesus and Havertz, haven't quite got him over the line. He's now going and looking for that final piece of the jigsaw for the third time. And I don't think he's going to get much more sympathy and time and patience from Arsenal fans. I think he'll get a lot of that from the board. And this is the thing with Arsenal fans. I actually think the only thing that will stop him getting sacked is the board will look at it and go, as long as he's getting the top 4, top 5, we don't care. We don't care. As long as there's Champions League money coming into Arsenal, we are not bothered at all. We couldn't give a monkeys. We're fine with that. Machina Joe, cricket ground. Oh, is it? Okay. Oh, it does. I was going to say, yeah, it does look a little bit circular. Rubes not saying hi. I haven't seen you say hi. Have you mentioned Rubes? I didn't see you pop in. I didn't see you say hello. You haven't said hello. It hasn't shown up in the chat, haven't you? If you have said hello, I haven't seen it. But good to see you, as always, mate. Machina Joe, I predict City to win the league. Of course you do. Everton fan predicting that is no surprise, is there? But City could. Yeah, City could win the league. Reinders is a very good signing. And I guess we'll just have to see how the rest of the summer goes for them. Cherky's not a bad signing either, but I think they need more. I think Marmoush, Cherky, Haaland is an interesting front line. Midfield, Nico Gonzalez, Rodri, Reinders. Again, I think it maybe needs a touch more. If they go and get Livramento at full-back, not a bad signing. Probably need another centre-back because Akanji and Stones look broken lately. So Diaz and Gvardiol in there. And I think they need a goalkeeper. Honestly, I think Ederson's not the player he once was. Will, if he holds the most appearances for Liverpool, who holds the second most appearances for Liverpool? It's Jamie Carragher, isn't it? Yeah, I think it's Cali top and then Carragher second. I'm almost certain. Carragher and Cali. Ronnie Dodge, afternoon, mate. We did our first bid for Mbermo last night. Yes, I know. 45 million quid. I don't think you're not going to get him for that. Allegedly, it's already been basically buffed away by Brentford. They're not even interested in selling for anywhere close to... They need to... I think Brentford are looking at it as, well, you've just paid close to 70 million quid for Cunha. He's as good as Cunha. We want that. And I think they'd be right in saying it. So that might be the problem for Man United. AFC David's a cult. I've been in the Emirates. I went off at Arteta and the fans tried fighting me. Oh, crikey. AM10, have you seen that? Apparently, Zubamendi isn't going to Arsenal now. I've seen that he's flirting with Real Madrid. And I do think it's quite funny, isn't it, that Arsenal fans were saying not that long ago, oh, yeah, he's rejected Liverpool for Arsenal. On your bike, sunshine. That's not what's happened. He wants to stay in Spain. Machina Joe, Pepe will be back. Pure Loyalist, quick like and hello this game, folks. Busy day today. Catch up later. Hopefully, all the best to all. Good man. Cheers, Pure Loyalist. We're off and underway here in Perth at the Optus Stadium. Come on, Japan. Come on. I'm hoping for a draw. A score draw would suit me here, to be honest. I'm happy with a draw. Sam McNeil, is Sir Alex Ferguson the best manager of all time, mate? Is he? Is he the best manager of all time? He's certainly one of them, yeah. He's certainly one of them. I have a begrudging respect for Fergie. Very good manager. But I've got to say, I think he did spend an awful lot of money. He did spend an awful lot of money to win those things. He was never ever... And the one time, Chelsea and City came and they spent an absolute fortune. He got then an absolute fortune. But I would argue that the Man United side between, 2006 and 2009, but those 3 years when Liverpool finished second to him in the league, I can't remember a better. There's not been many better. I'll say that. They were an unbelievable side, and he was always able to rebuild sides, wasn't he? But I'm not sure if he's the best ever. I think the fact he only won 2 European Cups in 26 years or whatever it was that he was at United, 2 European Cups is a pathetic return for how many unbelievable sides that man had. So yeah, that's the one thing that lets Fergie down. Domestic success, brilliant. European success, not great, because Bob Paisley with Liverpool, the great Liverpool side. Bob Paisley won 3 European Cups in however many years. We've seen Zidane, we've seen Ancelotti. I would say he's one of the best of all time too. Michael, afternoon, Kieran. Good to see you, Michael. How's it going? Long live Mecha Warrior. Nobody is touching Liverpool. City are finished. I think that's a bold statement. That is a very bold statement to say that. Very, very bold statement. Pure Loyalist 2-2 prediction for this one. There's Moriyasu, the head coach of Japan. Najimi Moriyasu. Sam McNeil, he's better than Pep, that's for sure, mate. Pep is an absolute checkbook fraud, isn't he? He is a checkbook manager. There's no doubt about that. Sam, he won the Prem with kids. He did. And he's a very good manager. There's no doubt about that. Very, very good manager. But I think he's not. Some of his achievements you'd have to compare with, Ancelotti winning European Cups with multiple teams. I still firmly believe that Jurgen Klopp is one of the best managers of all time. He doesn't have necessarily the trophy haul for it, but he did it on a budget that was far, far less of anyone else, and he was competing with Pep at the time. So I think Jurgen Klopp's absolutely unbelievable. To have won the European Cup, got to multiple finals, and he's just unbelievable. Building something from nothing with very, very little. Jurgen Klopp's like one of the best, and I think that's the thing for a manager, isn't it? Getting the best out of what you've got. So I think Jurgen Klopp's up there too, but I don't think he's better than Alex Ferguson, sadly. HJ Football 180, who do you support? I'm a Liverpool fan, mate. Yeah, I'm a Liverpool fan. Ronnie Dodge, Arsenal will know how it feels if Zubimendi rejects them, and to be honest, he ain't all that. AFC Dave, people have to understand the Zubimendi guy has a history of changing his mind at the very end. He does, yeah, he does. And, to be honest, I don't think he's that. He's not all that. He's not all that, Zubimendi. He really isn't. Like, he's a very decent player, but he's had a poor season. A very poor season, I've got to say. Steve Dawn, Arsenal signing no one, then do this for years. I'm a gooner. I still think we're signing Benzema. Arsenal need a centre-forward, that is for sure, but I do think you need a wide player. Martinelli isn't good enough. I think you need maybe 1 or 2 midfielders. I think you probably need a full-back as well. And it's just going to be interesting to see what happens this summer. You have absolutely got unbelievable players though, and it'd be interesting to see what happens this season with Arsenal. But I get the sense that Arteta is taking Arsenal backwards at this point now. Japan doing all the early pressing in the opening 5 minutes. We haven't had a shot on target. We haven't had any meaningful chances yet, but Japan doing all the pressing. All the pressing. Michael, Kieran, I believe one of your Liverpool players, Endo, is playing for Japan in this match. He's not, no. He's on the bench. He is on the bench, but he's not started. No, the only English sort of based player for Japan in this game is Daichi Kamada. Yeah, Daichi Kamada is playing. He's played for Crystal Palace in the FA Cup final not that long ago, of course. Long live Mech Warrior. Arne Slot and his players are just too good. Nobody can catch Liverpool. City don't have good players anymore, and Arsenal forever going to get second. Oh, wow. Arsenal just forever bottle jobs. Is that what we're saying? Michael, as regards to Fergie's time at Man United, English clubs were banned from 84 until 90 due to Heysel. So Fergie Man United could not take part in European competition over that period. Mate, Man United weren't even a team at that point. Man United weren't ever involved in winning things at that top end of the table, really. During 85, it was, obviously. It wasn't then. It wasn't 84. 84, Liverpool won the European Cup. 85 to 1990 or whatever. It was mainly Everton. It was mainly Everton and Arsenal who were aggrieved by that. Man United didn't have they were all right, but they weren't a fantastic side in the kind of mid to late 80s. Man United were involved in the European Cup for in basically the entirety of Sir Alex Ferguson's tenure, and again, to only have 2 European Cups, I think is a travesty. It reflects poorly on the man. Zero Requiem, thoughts on the video? Vert nodding his head. I just think it confirms what we all already knew, which is he's coming to Liverpool. We know he's coming to Liverpool. We knew he was coming to Liverpool before last night, and it's already just done. He's going to get the Liverpool number 10 shirt, probably. Who knows? But I'm sure he's coming. I do think he's coming. AM10, what's your Mount Rushmore for players in the Prem era? Mount Rushmore for players in the Prem era. Probably Henry. Shearer. I'd go Shearer, Henry, Ronaldo, De Bruyne. Yeah. Rubes, how's Premier League widow? She's fine, mate. Yeah, she's fine. Looking forward to some recuperation in hospital in a few days' time after the op, but she's fine. Michael, Japan have already qualified for the World Cup. For Australia, they really need the win to have a chance of qualifying for the World Cup. They do. Yeah, Saudi Arabia are hot on the tails of the Australian players here. Saudi Arabia play Bahrain at 5 p.m. tonight. We was going to do that one, to be honest, but obviously we've got the World Cup qualifier the UEFA Nations League game between Spain and France, so we're going to be doing that one instead. But yes, yeah, you're right, absolutely right. Japan have already qualified. That's why Japan have heavily rotated in this one. That's why we've not seen the likes of Endo and Takefusa Kubo of Real Sociedad. They're not playing for Japan. And Australia do need to push forward and get something, a point, anything. But Japan are having all the ball. Japan have got all the ball, all the possession. They're doing all the pressing. The Australian players are just kind of sitting back and soaking up the pressure, trying to hit on the counter. But the sad thing is for Australia, they haven't really got an awful lot of pace up there. There's not really an awful lot of pace up that top end. The Scrum Down Live. Klopp should have had at least 2 European Cups. That 22 final was a fluke by Madrid. Yeah, people forget. I mean, 3 European Cup finals for Jurgen Klopp at Liverpool. Some going. Long live Mech Warrior. Verts to Liverpool just seals it. Nobody's touching Liverpool. He's some player, Florian Wirtz, isn't he? He is some player. AFC Dave, we'll see Zubamendi today against France. AM10, Klopp got to around 600 million in 9 years, while Slot's spending 130 on Wirtz. Klopp must be fuming. Well, I mean, Klopp, in fairness, Klopp did get big players. There was always bids for big players. We went big for Caicedo at one point. We did bid big for Alisson, for Van Dijk, for Darwin Núñez, Naby Keita, another one. We did go big for players, but we always had to balance that by selling players as well, didn't we? The big sale of Coutinho kind of hurt us, and we had to let players go a lot. Oh crikey! Hang on a minute. The camera's stopped. The camera's turned off. One sec. Right, there you go. There you go, we're back. We're back. Hopefully that stays on now. Hopefully that works now. Yeah, I don't know why it went. I think it overheated, but it should be working fine now. FM No Casuals, I wouldn't hype Klopp as much as Kieran, but the squad he inherited was so bad. I do think he's one of the best of all time, I really do. And when I say one of the best, I mean like top 20, not like top 5, but he is one of the best. Rubes, you're pushing it with me, you sunshine. You're pushing it. Substorb, I wouldn't agree with Owen, but I agree with the rest. Rubes, hang on, who did Rubes say? Shearer, Henry, Owen, Beckham and Ronaldo. Well, that's not a Mount Rushmore. It's not a Mount Rushmore. Mount Rushmore only has 4 faces. Henry, Kane, Giggs, Rooney for me. Giggs! Can't have Giggs. Purely on a moral basis you can't have Giggs. Can't be putting Becks on there. Like, no, you can't have Beckham, can you? You can't have. Although he was maybe the original Premier League superstar, wasn't he? You know, the boy wonder sort of thing. And then Owen, and then Rooney. Who would we say is the boy wonder now? Who would we say that is? Becks, Owen, Rooney. Have we had any more? Have I missed someone? Who's the modern? I'm trying to think of who's come through and been like, wow, from like 18 years of age. Theo Walcott, I don't know. Who was there a lot of like wow about when they were a young player in the Premier League? Forget after Rooney, I mean. Kieran, my team, Leeds United are being linked to Joe Gomez. What is your opinion on Gomez? As you would know more about his form, would he help strengthen Leeds' defence, or is he a player past his best? Michael, I would say, honestly, I seriously believe this, I think Joe Gomez is one of the most underrated defenders in the Premier League. The only issue with Joe Gomez has been injuries. That is it. If Joe Gomez is fit, he has been one of the best centre-back partnerships we've ever had with Virgil van Dijk. Top player. Very, very good player. Should be in the England squad. He's a very, very talented player. He can play right back. He can play left back. He can play centre back. He's even played as a number 6 in midfield at times for Liverpool too in his career. Very, very reliable player when he's on the pitch. He has just had his injuries in recent years though, and that's what's curtailed him at Liverpool. If I'm really honest, I would be quite saddened to see Joe Gomez leave Liverpool. I would like him to stay. But I could totally understand if he wanted to go and get regular football and Leeds United. If Leeds got Joe Gomez, I would change my opinion on Leeds potentially staying up. Because as it stands, I'm of the view that Leeds are going down with Sunderland, and Burnley are maybe the more likely of the 2 to stay up. Of the 3 to stay up. But if Joe Gomez went there, I do think that would change an awful lot. Joe Gomez is a very talented player. Rubes, Phil Foden, Louise Saka, yeah, both of those not bad, yeah. But did they have that? Maybe not the same, was it? It wasn't maybe the same as Owen and Rooney and Beckham. I mean, it was Giggs, wasn't it? Even the original one was Giggs. It was Giggs, then Beckham. Yeah, Saka. Foden, Saka. Probably Saka, I guess. But again, Saka's not really gone on and reached the heights, has he? He's not really done what your Michael Owens did, your Wayne Rooney's did. Ali, how's it going? The Candy Zone, good to see you. Eliora, are you watching Japan v Australia? Yes, we are. Yeah, Australia v Japan in Perth. We're live watching that now. Japan are in behind. Daichi Kamada. Substub Theo was supposed to be a wow. A lot of good build-up for him, but nothing came from him, really. Yeah, he was... I remember him being included in the England Euro squad. Do you remember that? Or the England World Cup squad? Whichever one it was. It was always puzzling, but He was always a talented player, Theo Walcott. He just never quite had the final ball. Michael, Kieran, who would Wirtz be replacing at Liverpool, as you already have attacking midfielders in Szoboszlai, Elliott and McAllister, who already play in that position? I'd love Elliott at Leeds. Yeah. Harvey Elliott is going to leave. Harvey Elliott is going. There's rumours about him being included in the deal for Florian Wirtz to Bayer Leverkusen. So maybe that'll happen. Maybe Florian Wirtz comes in, Harvey Elliott goes there. There's rumours about that. As who he will actually replace in the starting lineup, it will be probably Luis Diaz. He'll play from the left-hand side. He won't play in that midfield three. No, the midfield three will still be Szoboszlai, McAllister, Gravenberch. Or we're probably going to bring in another midfielder on top of Wirtz. We're probably going to bring someone else in for that midfield three. But Wirtz will do, as he started last night for Germany, he started from that left-hand side and inverted. And I think that's exactly what Liverpool are going to do. We're going to see Wirtz and Salah on the wings, inverted as almost like centre forwards, and then we're going to see the likes of Frimpong and Kerkez bombing forward and providing the width for Liverpool. So Kerkez and Frimpong high, Salah and Wirtz tucking in. Here's Japan getting into the area. Pulled back and it's cleared away by Australia. Yeah, so I think that Wirtz probably replaces Luis Diaz and Luis Diaz goes. Ali, I don't think Elliott will leave. Mate, he's already announced it. Yeah, he's already announced that he'll leave. He wants to stay, but Arne Slot has already had a conversation with him and said that you're not going to get game time next season, so it's better for your career if you leave. It's better for your career if you leave. AM10, 2019-20, Joe Gomez was amazing, was almost on the same level with Van Dijk that season. He was incredible, wasn't he? Yeah, he was incredible. Jake, did you say Cunha is the top of the walking stats in the Prem? Perfect for Magnol. Yes, he is. No player has walked more in the Premier League than Matheus Cunha this season. And it's quite comfortably Matheus Cunha as well, by the way. If you look at the top 5 players in terms of percentage of time on the pitch walking, the other 4 are all defenders. It's Olaina, Murillo, both from Nottingham Forest, Esri Konsa of Villa, Virgil van Dijk of Liverpool, which doesn't really surprise you because Van Dijk, he never breaks into a sprint, does he? How often does Van Dijk ever break into a sprint? He's always just pacing, watching, waiting, and then he turns on the afterburners and he always reads the game so well, Van Dijk. So the fact that he walks makes that's no surprise. And defenders being the ones that walk in, again, no real surprise, especially with Forest, Aina and Murillo. They sit very deep, don't they? So they've no need to run. They sit very deep and they don't burst into sprints at all. But for Matheus Cunha, a centre forward, to be far ahead of them in terms of walking, I think that says an awful lot about him. Yeah. User 8605974429194. Great username. What do you think of Bournemouth? Love Bournemouth. Maybe my second team in the Premier League, Bournemouth. I really like them. Ali, are you watching France v Spain later? Yes, we are. Yeah, this is the first of 2 watch-alongs we are doing today. So if you want to watch, then obviously you can click follow up here. Or if you haven't yet and you do want to help the channel, get over to YouTube, search Premier League Dad. Give us a like, give us a subscribe. If you're watching on YouTube now and you haven't liked and subscribed, please click the like button. Click the like button, please subscribe, and we'll be live every single day. We've got live watch-alongs every single day. Games coming up, loads of games coming up. FIFA Club World Cup, more FIFA World Cup qualifiers, the European Under-21s Championships as well coming up. Massive, massive games coming up. And obviously the Nations League tonight. Eliora, is Ali actually your son? No, mate, I called the channel stupidly Premier League Dad, and now people come in and refer to me as Dad, which is a bit mad, a bit weird. My name's actually Kee. Most people call me Kee, so you can call me Kee. If you still want to call me Dad, that's whatever, that's on you. But no, there's absolutely no need to call me Dad. Shano, what's happened to Sterling? I mean, it's just a fall off, isn't it? I mean, he's still quite young, isn't he, Sterling? Maybe, do you know what? Maybe Raheem Sterling is that player we talked about. You know, the player who, after Rooney, was the next big thing. Raheem Sterling was incredible at Liverpool. one of our youngest players as well, ever players to come through, and sad, because he's such a good player. Or he was such a good player. He's a rat though, isn't he? Connor Davis, don't understand Maeda not starting for Japan after his season at Celtic. Japan are resting a lot of players, mate. I think they've left a lot of players at home. There's no Minamino here. Endo's on the bench. Takefusa Kubo is on the bench as well. So, yeah, Japan are already through. They've qualified. But I think there's a lot of players in the squad here who are obviously keeping an eye out for the coming season and trying to get in the manager's eyes for the World Cup. That's good play. Japan down the left-hand side. It's gone all the way through to Matt Ryan. Connor Davis, all right, seeing Steve giving the others a game then. Yeah, even Suzuki, the goalkeeper, who we'd all expect to be in goal for Japan, Zion Suzuki of Parma, he's been moved on for today, and they've put the other lad in. Ali, do you think Liverpool will sign a striker? Of course Liverpool will sign a striker. Yeah, we definitely will sign a striker. I think we have to get rid of Darwin Núñez first, and I'm sure we will in the next sort of couple of weeks. It wouldn't even surprise me if Jota went as well, Apparently Chiesa has agreed to move back to Italy. He's going back to AC Milan to play with Luka Modric, so I'm made up for him. Yeah, very, very likeable player, Enrico Chiesa, but just not good enough, sadly. Brian, let me guess, you're a Liverpool fan. I am a Liverpool fan, yes. Space, do you think Liverpool will win the Premier League next season? I think it's fair to say we're favourites. We are the current champions. We've just breezed to the title without... Everyone knew Liverpool were winning that league by Christmas. So we breezed to the title. And Liverpool have started the summer transfer window by going out and getting maybe the best goalkeeper this season in La Liga, Mamadashvili. We've gone out and got maybe the best right back after Trent and Hakimi, Frimpong. We've gone out and got maybe the best left back in the Premier League this season in Milos Kerkez. And we're about to sign maybe the best number 10 in world football in Florian Wirtz. So 130 million quid. Liverpool are doing bits in the transfer window to cement their place as favourites. I'm pretty confident we will win it again. Obviously, it remains to be seen what happens with Arsenal and City. We don't know what happens at all with them. Japan getting in down the right hand side, pulled it back, cleared away. Bit of a slice clearance there by Australia. It's getting a little bit desperate at the back for the Aussies, the Socceroos. They're just slicing at everything. But Japan have had all the pressure. It's all Japan here, 25 minutes in. All Japan. Corner to Japan. Candy's own, I'll be different, uncle it is. Space. Sorry, we've done that one. Jay, Steve Cooper might become Borough manager. Do you think that's a good, smart decision for Borough? What do you think? Sticky 42. Burgess, a brick wall at centre-back. Nice centre-half. Well, there's Boyle and Miller as well, the Hibs players. We've got some good players in this team. Or good British-based players. Geordie, come on, Japan. I think Japan will just be quite happy to just see this one. It's almost a friendly for Japan. They're already qualified. But Australia really, really need the win. Because if Saudi Arabia beat Bahrain, then they drop out. I think they drop out of the automatic promotion spots for the World Cup. And there's only one game left. 1 second. Let me catch up with the chat on YouTube. Michael, we already had that one. Substub, he was fast, but that's it. And yes, I remember. Sam, has Kerkez even gone yet? Kerkez, the deal is pretty much underway. I'll say that. Kerkez, Bournemouth have quoted Liverpool around about £40 million. The personal terms have already pretty much been agreed. It's just now a case of getting the final bits and bobs done and dusted. But yeah, Kerkez and Frimpong, Kerkez and Wirtz will be next for Liverpool in the coming few days, the coming week, I would imagine. Michael, sorry, long live Mech Warrior. How confident are you in Liverpool striker options if Salah gets injured? It's probably a fair question. I think if Chiesa goes, which he is doing, then we need a right winger. We need someone else to come in to replace Mo Salah if Salah does get injured. But I think if we've got Wirtz there and we go and get a new centre forward, whoever that may be, and we've got Gakpo there and Jota, I'm confident, absolutely confident. Jota, if he's fit, is one of the best centre forwards around. I love Diogo Jota. He just wasn't fit that much last season, I think. The Candy Zone surprisingly only clicked on your link on Facebook. Now you're always on my FYP. Always give the support. Keep it up. Oh mate, that's so kind of you to say. Thank you very much. I'm really trying. I'm really trying to build a channel, but I've only been going for 6 months, so it's very, very new. It's very fresh. We've got over 5,000 subs on YouTube. If you are watching on TikTok and you want to help the channel in any way, shape or form, please do head over to YouTube, search Premier League Dad, give us a like, give us a subscribe. It massively does help the channel if you do that. Thank you very much. Michael, would you say that Wirtz is a better player than Diaz? Because Diaz has been a really good player for Liverpool. Is it Diaz wanting to go or Liverpool wanting to try a different type of player? Probably a little bit of both. Luis Diaz was signed by Liverpool and he was put on a contract of around £50,000 a week. Which, again, it's no small chunk of change, is it, for us? We'd be quite happy with that. £50,000 a week is not bad for anyone. But £50,000 a week for a player like Luis Diaz, who is top of his game. He's being chased by Barcelona. He's got, offers from Saudi on big money. He signed a 4-year contract with Liverpool on 50 grand a week. Or was it a 5-year contract? I can't remember. But he signed a big contract with Liverpool on like 50 grand a week. It was quite a pittance for a player of his level. And Liverpool have got 2 years left on that contract, and they're saying, look, we're happy to keep you on 50 grand a week. That's your contract. That's what you've signed. So we're happy to keep you on that. And Luis Diaz is obviously looking around and going, well, hang on a minute, I'm at the top of my game here. There's clubs who are knocking on his door and saying, we'll pay you right now. We'll pay you like 10 times that salary. And it's tempting, isn't it? It's really tempting. I'm sure he doesn't want to leave Liverpool from a footballing perspective, but it's life-changing money. Japan are in. Oh, just wide there. Was it Kamada again? Was it Kamada running from deep? No, it wasn't Kamada. It was a number 8 running from deep. I thought it looked like Kamada in terms of the shape and the body. He's done it so much for Palace this season, but just an unbelievable run to the edge of the area, opens his body up and just wide of that far post. Unbelievable. There you go. Australia get away with one. Support your local wool. Cheers, CJ. Geordie, I bet before I knew they'd already qualified, but I think they should have it. I mean, it's all Japan. Yeah, I've got Japan as well, for what it's worth. That's why I'm watching. It's not just because of any old game we watch on this channel. It's because I've got Japan. So I'm hoping Japan can do something. Australia, in the opening half an hour, I've got to say, I know we've got Aussie fans on here, but I've got to say, they haven't even got in Japan's half. Opening half hour, they haven't really got in Japan's half. So yeah, I do think, by the way, Michael, I think Diaz just is looking at it from a purely financial perspective. If a club comes in and offers big money to Liverpool, and Liverpool might be tempted as well, if you get £100 million for Luis Diaz, from Saudi maybe, and Luis Diaz gets a £500,000 a week contract, tax-free, everyone's a winner. Michael, Kieran, will you be covering pre-season matches and tournaments that clubs will take part in leading up to the new season? Yes, Michael, we will. Yeah, we will. We'll have to see which ones. Liverpool are playing AC Milan in, I think is it Hong Kong or it might be Shanghai actually. Liverpool are playing AC Milan in the Standard Chartered Cup pre-season tournament. So we're going to be watching that. We're going to be watching a few other pre-season games. Not Liverpool always, of course. But yeah, we'll definitely be doing pre-season games, of course. Michael, Japan has left out Tanaka of my club Leeds United as well. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, Tanaka out of the side. Takumi Minamino. Endo's on the bench. Takafusa Kubo's on the bench. There's a lot of players. Suzuki's on the bench. A lot of players that Japan would have started if this was a big, meaningful game. They've left out. Daisen Maeda, of course, at Celtic. Rio Hatate as well, another one at Celtic. Sam, just casually watching the golf. I was going to go to the shop, but it's raining here. Oh, blimey. In Sydney, it's raining. That's not good. Rubes, Key, I'm proud of you. You're doing well. Rubes, you're a sweetheart. See, I do. You know how to turn it on when you want to. But thank you very much for that, sir. Appreciate it. The Candy Zone, surprisingly... Oh, we've done that one, sorry. Zoya, Liverpool need to buy a forward. They do, yeah, absolutely. And they will. Jordy, I wanted Endo and Kubo to start, though. Me too. I wanted Japan to go a bit harder than they have. But they haven't. They've dropped a lot of players. They've rested a lot of players. They have still had all the ball, and they're still pressing incredibly well. Australia are barely getting a kick. Substub, finally, he said something nice. Oh, you're in England. Oh, sorry. You are in England. Okay. I know you said you was from Sydney. I thought that meant you were still in Sydney. You want to go over there, nice weather. All right, okay. Reveal clothing, why are South American players always cheaper and more often better? Is it their upbringing? It could be their upbringing, yeah, I guess it could be their upbringing. And that's just, from a street football thing, it's a lot of the South American nations are maybe not as westernised, maybe a lot of parts of it, in the slum areas sort of thing, in the favelas in Brazil. There's not an awful lot to do all day other than play football. So, yeah, a lot of the kids go out and play football in the street, and that's why they have such intense quality dribbling, close control. That's why the Brazilian football is renowned for that. It's a different type of game around the world, isn't it? And again, partially that could be because of upbringing. Maybe that's the environment. We're all a product of our environment. Where have I read that from then, Samuel? Someone said they were from Sydney earlier. I thought you're on my YouTube chat thing. Your username and your profile picture is incredibly similar to someone else who said they were from Sydney earlier in the chat. So I apologise, Samuel. Right, okay. You're from England. You've got no Australian at all in you. Oh God, I'm sorry. Michael, Man City have let far too many fringe players go, who they must now be regretting. The likes of Palmer, Delap, Alvarez and Sancho leave as they now have an ageing squad. Yeah, that's true. It's very true. They could certainly do with Cole Palmer now, couldn't they? Australia corner's just gone straight out of play. It's been a poor first half. I've got to level with you guys. It's been a poor first half. It's been a poor first half from Australia's point of view. A very, very poor first half from an entertainment point of view. But Japan are still definitely on the up here. Japan are still the ones in control. They've had most of the ball. They've had most of the chances. And even with a heavily rotated squad, I still fancy Japan to win this one. Canterbury for life. Is KDB going to Napoli? He is, yes, he is. Emiliano, who is leading, it is 0-0. Where are you watching it? I'm watching it on One Football, mate. Mind your own, Hugo Ekitike linked to Villa. Now, that'd be a good signing for Villa. He's still linked to Liverpool, of course, but I can't see Villa going getting him unless they sell Ollie Watkins. Reveal clothing. Who is the greatest Premier League bargain? The greatest Premier League bargain? Oh, now that's a good question. See, I always look at who's the best Liverpool bargain, right? And my personal opinion is Liverpool signing Sami Hyypiä for £2 million for Willem. And Sami Hyypiä went on to win the Champions League with us. He won pretty much everything. And in my opinion, he's one of the most underrated centre-backs ever in the Premier League. Sami Hyypiä was incredible. And we got him for £2 million. So, yeah, him. You could look at Seamus Coleman of Everton. Whatever he was, 60 grand, £60,000 for Seamus Coleman. There's a lot of good bargains. I mean, look at Liverpool. Liverpool, again, I'm always going to come back to Liverpool because that's what I know. But McAllister, James Milner, these players we signed for nothing. And they came in and won everything with us. Here's Japan coming forward. Ball into the box to the far post. Chance for Japan. Oh, it's gone out for a goal kick. Jake, before I go back to work, what's your thoughts on Magnus Akliush? Good player. Very, very good player. I'd like him at Liverpool. He's one of the ones that have been linked. Yeah, he's one of the ones that's been linked. Canterbury for life. What do you think about Frimpong going to Liverpool? Probably the best right back we could have signed after Trent leaving. But he's not the right back I would have gone for. I think it suggests a change in system. Yeah, it suggests a change in system for Liverpool. Jake Curtin, Hippier was a proper unit. He was incredible, mate. I loved him. Loved him. Never put a foot wrong, Sammy Hippier. Always looked like he was running in porridge, but he was a great centre-back. The original Virgil van Dijk for Liverpool. Connor Davis, Jamie Vardy, maybe not in the Premier League. Yeah, I think Jamie Vardy from Fleetwood was a hell of a signing for Leicester. And he obviously went on and did incredibly well. So you could say Vardy too. Yeah, that'd be a good shout. Any other Premier League bargains? Let me know what you're thinking. For your club, who would be your bargain? Oh, Japan. Who's just had a shot there? Oh, unbelievable shot from distance from Japan. I don't know who it was, but it was a 30-yard shot, low, daisy cutter. Had Matt Ryan scrambling, and it went just wide of the far post. I think Ryan would have had that covered, though. Yeah, I think he would have had that covered. Unlucky. But there you go. Probably the first serious shot on target, I guess. CJ, what do you mean change its system? Do you think a wing-back formation? Not a 5 at the back, but almost a 5 at the back, if you know what I mean. Like, I think if we go with Kirkes and Frimpong, what are their strengths? Their strengths are playing high line, bombing forward, and attacking fullbacks. So I think we have Kirkes and Frimpong starting quite high up the pitch, and that then means that Van Dijk and Konate, or Van Dijk and whoever, would be isolated at the back. So I think what it means is we'll end up getting a number 6. We'll probably go out and buy a number 6 in this window. I'm certain we will. It might be a Baleba. It might be someone of that, who can drop back to support Van Dijk and Konate when those two are going forward. And Kirkes and Frimpong will give Liverpool the width, and we'll see Salah and Wirtz tuck in almost as extra centre forwards with whoever the number 9 is. So I think that's what's going to happen. That's my take. Could be wrong. Rubes, Shah has to be. Fabian Schär was amazing for 300 grand. Yeah, Fabian Schär, good player. But again, he's won a League Cup. So, good player, very good player. Certainly one of the bargains for Newcastle. I don't know if he'd go down as one of the best ever in Premier League history. But a very good signing. Michael, Kieran, even though he didn't cost anything for Liverpool, Steven Gerrard is the best Liverpool recruit bargain. Yeah. I mean, if we're talking about academy players, then yeah, you're probably right, aren't you? There's not been many better come through the academy than Steven Gerrard. Jordy, Spain v France, what's your thoughts? I think Spain win it. 2-1. I'm backing Spain to win it. CJ, to be honest, I'd be scared if it was a Merseyside derby and someone like Beto marked Frimpong. Why? Why do you think that? Reveal Clothing, Vidic for 8 million was a massive bargain. He was, yes. He was good signing, Vidic. Yeah, very good signing. Michael, I thought in the last World Cup in Qatar, Japan were a revelation, beating the likes of Germany and Spain, I believe, in the group stages. Japan are a very underrated footballing nation. They've got some real quality in their ranks, and they're producing some very good young players. As I say, if you look at Kano, for example, at Nijmegen, young central midfielder. We've seen the likes of Hatate at Celtic and Maeda. Obviously, Furuhashi in the last few years at Celtic as well. There's some quality coming through in Japan now, and it feels like football in the last maybe 20 years in Japan since there's been a blossoming since the 2002 World Cup in Japan, hasn't there? There's been a boom. There's players now who were born in the wake of the 2002 World Cup in Japan and South Korea, and because football has raised, the profile of the game has raised so highly in those countries, we're now seeing 23 years later, we're now seeing top young players coming through. Rubes, what a Seamus Coleman won. Well, he's not won anything, but he's won the hearts of Evertonians, and he's played a lot longer at the top level than Fabian Schär. He's 60, and he's also whatever. 80% less than Fabian Schär cost as well. 60 grand, it's unbelievable. Oh, it was 3 million. It was 3 million for Fabian Schär. That's what Jake's telling me, Rubes. 3 million quid. It's absolutely extortionate fee. CJ, did you not see Van Dijk and Kanate versus Beto? They got bullied. Imagine Frimpong, Pongy. Van Dijk and Kanate don't get bullied by anyone, mate. They didn't get bullied by anyone. Beto didn't do anything. Reveal, what's your best Premier League starting 11 of all time? Oh my God. My best starting 11 of all time in the Premier League. Good grief. Let's do it. Why not? I would go... goalkeeper, you're going to test me on straight away. It's a straight shot between Van der Sar and Alisson. I like Schmeichel too, but it's between Van der Sar and Alisson. And I think I'd go with Alisson. I think Alisson was at the time, and is even now, he's the best goalkeeper in the world. And the only other time we've had that in the Premier League was probably with Van der Sar and Schmeichel. So it's very close, but I would go Alisson. I would go Trent Alexander-Arnold, because he's redefined the right-back role. He's been the most creative right-back we've ever seen in the Premier League. He's won everything there is to win multiple times. I don't think you can look past Trent Alexander-Arnold. He's now playing at Real Madrid for obvious reasons. Japan just wide. Again, it's all coming from Japan. It is Daichi Kamada. Again, causing real problems in that half space between the back line and the midfield. Really unlucky. Japan pushing forward, coming up to half time now. So I'd go Trent Alexander-Arnold. I'll go defence. I'd go Van Dijk and Terry. Left back, I'd probably go Ashley Cole. I'm going to go 4-3-3 as well. So I'd go midfield 3 would be Gerrard. Gerrard. Oh, I love Vieira. I loved Vieira. I loved Kante. Shot from Japan. First shot on target there, really. Straight at Matt Ryan. Come on, Kieran. Midfield 3. Gerrard is a certainty. Do I put Vieira in? I think I would put Vieira in. I think I'd put Gerrard, Vieira, and... I like Yaya Toure, you know. But I've got to put De Bruyne, haven't I? Gerrard, Vieira, De Bruyne. That's probably my midfield 3. And then up front, I'd go Salah, Henry, Suarez. Salah, Henry, Suarez. That would be my 11. I'm sticking with it. Long live Met Warrior. What do people do in Liverpool to enjoy themselves? There's lots to do in Liverpool. It's a wonderful city. European Capital of Culture 2008, mate. Absolutely come and check it out if you've never checked Liverpool out. It's a great city. Wonderful. It really is. It really is. I love Liverpool. I love Manchester. Both great cities. I'm lucky enough to live kind of smack bang in between them. So I go to both quite frequently, and I've worked in both. Worked in the city for both for many, many years. But Liverpool's always my favourite. I love Liverpool. You can go down to the docks. Dockside is beautiful. The city centre's cool as well. Go and check it out, mate. There's loads of museums as well in Liverpool. Lots to see. Lots and lots to see in Liverpool. Depends what your thing is, I guess. You can go down Matthew Street. If you like a night out, Matthew Street's great. There's loads of places for nights out as well. Nakamura was some player. Never forget that free kick against United. Shunsuke Nakamura. Shunsuke Nakamura, yeah. Fucking door ball. I love that meme. Nakamura was some player, yeah. Love it. Not when you're talking about Sammy Hippie for 2 million years before. TJ, Alisson, Terry, Van Dijk, Cole, Gerrard, Lampard. Mate, you can't have a midfield 3 of Gerrard, Lampard and De Bruyne. Christ, they're doing some heavy, heavy lifting. Reveal clothing. Modric was in the Prem as well. Yeah, Modric was a good player. Jack, who will win, Ireland or Senegal? It's a friendly, isn't it? I'd always back Senegal in that one. I think they've got better quality players, but it's a friendly. You can never say. In a friendly, they change the full team at half time sometimes, so you can never bet on friendlies. CJ, people don't realise how big England is. CJ, typical Wool, loves Manchester, support your local Stockport City. Mate, shut up. I'm not. I am a Wool. I'm a Wool and proud. I am a Wool and proud. Geordie, I've been sometimes in Durham and Newcastle. Love it there. England and the UK as a whole is a beautiful, beautiful place. It is a beautiful place. There's lots of really nice places. Go and check out Cornwall. It's full time here. Sorry, half time here. Australia 0, Japan 0. It's been a labour of love watching this one, I've got to say. CJ, I'm a Wool. I just love the Wool statement. Where are you from? If you're a Wool, where are you from? You don't have to tell me on just ballpark. Whereabouts are you? Give me a postcode. I say I'm WA. It's all good. I've not got the L postcode, so I can never be a. I'm always going to be a Wool. Rubes, I'll come and visit you. Not if you keep being nasty to me, you won't. Michael, I'm surprised that Diaz was on such a low amount at Liverpool compared to, say, most players in the Premier League. Someone like Calvin Phillips was on 150k a week at Ipswich Town. He was on 150k a week at City. He was on loan at Ipswich. So Ipswich weren't really paying. Well, they were paying his wages, but it was City who agreed that contract with him. I think the difficulty for Liverpool is that Luis Diaz is on like 50k thereabouts, and you've got players at Bournemouth, Bournemouth signing contracts on 70, 80k, and if you're Luis Diaz and his agent, you're looking at it and going, oh, we've had such a shocker here. We have had an absolute nightmare. Michael, which club did Liverpool sign Diaz from? Was it a Colombian club? No, it was Porto, FC Porto in Portugal. Rubes, you're Warrington. I'm not Warrington. I did live in Warrington for a long time, but I'm not Warrington, no. I'm nowhere near Warrington. Although WA is a Warrington postcode. But yeah, it's not. WA can mean it covers such a large area. Widnes and there's parts of Widnes. There's parts of it doesn't say Wigan. Wigan's WN, isn't it? Yeah, but it's a big chunk. It's all a big chunk of the northwest. WA. Reveal clothing. Call me biased, but Scholes was better than Gerrard and Lampard. That's true. I don't believe that. I'm sorry. I'm never ever going to. You are biased, mate. There's no way anyone believes that. Even Paul Scholes doesn't believe that. Paul Scholes doesn't believe that. He really doesn't. I had to read that again. I was halfway through reading it and thinking, what are we on about here? No, Scholes is not better than Gerrard or Lampard. Paul Scholes says it himself. He couldn't do what Gerrard did for Liverpool, but he knows that Gerrard could do what he did for Manchester United. Paul Scholes is a very good player, but he's not in any world close to Steven Gerrard. And if I'm honest, Frank Lampard's not close to Steven Gerrard. Frank Lampard was a sensational midfielder who could score fantastic goals, and he was the prime arrive in the box late top player. Loved Frank Lampard. And he was so good, but he couldn't run games like Steven Gerrard. He really couldn't. Gerrard had everything. Gerrard was fast. He was strong. He was defensively bang on the money. He could play right back. He could play centre back. He played right wing quite frequently. He could score. He could score free kicks. He scored penalties. He was cool. He was calm. He was the competent leader all the time. Steven Gerrard is the greatest Premier League player I've ever seen. I don't care what anyone says. That's my opinion. I think he's up there with Zidane. I really seriously believe that. Gerrard is the greatest Premier League player we've ever seen. And whenever you ask about players, ask who's the best player you've played with. Even every England player, Steven Gerrard. It's not even close. They all say Steven Gerrard. And Real Madrid tried to sign him multiple times. Jose Mourinho had Frank Lampard, tried to sign him. Alex Ferguson had Paul Scholes, tried to sign him multiple times. You can't. Steven Gerrard is Scholes and Lampard are like here, Gerrard's up here. It's not even close. It really isn't. Vixen, Man City oil merchants buying players will never be a big club. Reveal clothing, not really a controversial opinion. Can make an argument for all three. He is very modest, though. He's modest, but I don't think anyone would argue that Paul Scholes is not the same level player as Steven Gerrard. And multiple managers, all the people in football who really, really, really matter, would never argue that Paul Scholes is better than Gerrard. Sir Alex Ferguson tried to sign Steven Gerrard. That tells you everything. Every England manager used to drop Scholes or push Scholes out to the wing to have Gerrard in the middle. It just never quite... Yeah, all the people whose opinions matter during Paul Scholes' career chose Gerrard. Sexy Dexty, got to be one of the worst halves of football I've seen. It was bad, wasn't it? Yeah, it was bad. Hopefully the second half produces better. We've seen some bad halves of football recently on this channel. And then they've come out in the second half and there's been goals galore. So, we shall see. Long live Met Warrior. Have you seen Darren Farley's impressions on Liverpool players? Yeah, I'm not a lover of Darren Farley, to be honest. I have seen him, but I'm not. I don't enjoy his work. And him as some of the stuff that he said on Twitter and stuff, not a massive fan. Connor Davis, fair enough. Does trophies won have a bearing on this debate at all, though? No, I don't think it does. I think trophies are an indicating factor in terms of how good a player is. Obviously, if a player's won absolutely nothing, then you'd look at it and say, well, that's not great. He never won anything. But ultimately, a trophy is a team game, isn't it? You don't win a trophy all on your own. You win a trophy as part of a team. Steven Gerrard was part of pretty poor Liverpool teams for the most part, and Scholes was part of maybe the best ever Man United teams. Now, he was a big part of that. But you have to say, there's some players who've won lots and lots of trophies. Look at Jack Grealish. Jack Grealish has won a treble. No one would seriously say anything about Jack Grealish being one of the best wide players ever. £100 million, went for massive money. Barely gets a kick for England. Won a treble. And there's lots of players you could throw into that category. So, trophies aren't the absolute be-all and end-all. The fact I said that Trent has won everything is also a fact that Trent has got everything else going for him. He's signed for Real Madrid. He's won everything as part of a team game. He's also got individual plaudits. No other fullback has created anywhere near as much as Trent Alexander-Arnold. I think Trent Alexander-Arnold has redefined the game. I think he's up there with, your Cafus, your Gary Nevilles. I think he's fantastic. People talk about Kyle Walker. I hate Trent Alexander-Arnold for what he's done to Liverpool, but I will always say to the death that he's the best right back I have ever seen. Absolutely fantastic player. Sexy Dexty, fingers crossed history repeats itself. United v Tottenham has to be the worst game of... No, honestly, there was some bad... I mean, look at Manchester United v Man City in the Premier League this season. That's the only 0-0 I think we've done on this channel. The only 0-0 I think we've done was those two. FM No Casuals, top tip, Saudi... top tip today's Pyramids, Georgia, South Korea and Saudi. I've got Saudi and South Korea definitely. FM No Casuals, if the trophy was a debate, we'd all be saying Totti was an average striker. Totti, what a player he was, eh? What a player he was. Sexy Dexty, far too early for me to watch it. It was not waking up at 5 a.m. to watch 15th versus 17th. Yeah. Oh, bad times. Bad times. Interesting debate, unusual on TikTok. Well, listen, mate, this is what we're about on this channel. This is what we're about. We'll talk anything, to be honest. Not even just football a lot of the time. We'll just talk rubbish. But yeah, we've already had a good debate, I think, on best bargain ever, best Premier League bargain signing ever. There's been some good shouts for that. Jamie Vardy, Seamus Coleman, Fabian Schär. I said Sami Hyypiä for Liverpool. Lots of good players I think you could throw in there. As best bargain. In fact, let's get some other names. Best Premier League 15 bargain transfers. Eric Cantona. That was big money back then, wasn't it, from Leeds? That was big money. You can't say that. Now, that's a better one. Kante signing for Leicester City for £5 million from Cannes in France. That's pretty good going. Ole Gunnar Solskjaer, 1.5 million from, was it Mulder? That's pretty good. Kolo Touré, 150 grand to Arsenal. Yeah. Nicholas Anelka, £500,000 to Arsenal. Liverpool signing Philip Coutinho for 8 million quid from Inter Milan, and we sold him for 140. Andy Robertson for 8 million quid. Yeah, Andy Robertson. Caicedo, 3 million. Yeah, that's a good shout as well. Cesar Azpilicueta, 6 million quid for Chelsea. That's not bad going. Jurgen Klinsmann, 2 million quid for Tottenham. Vincent Kompany, 6 million quid. Patrick Vieira, now that's a better shout. Patrick Vieira to Arsenal, 3.5 million quid from AC Milan. I like that. Yeah, Mane and Van Dijk for South. Was it 12 million quid Southampton paid for Van Dijk for Celtic? That's a good signing. Oh, hey. Long live Mech Warrior, I agree. United relegated for sure, and it will be enjoyable to see. If United get relegated, they're not going to get relegated. I did think if they'd have sold Bruno Fernandes, there was an outside chance of him getting relegated, wasn't there? There was an outside chance. Only if they sold Bruno. But they seem to have... They're taking a big gamble by going signing these players. A very, very big gamble, because I think they're on the cusp of a points deduction, and it feels like they've gone, well, we can either rein it in now, we can either rein it in and sell everyone and have a pretty poor season for sure. We're going to end up with, Toby Collier in midfield and all that, or we're gonna just go hell for leather. Let's just spend everything we've got. We're very close to the needle, very close to the line in terms of FFP breaches. But let's just go and spend and try and get in the Champions League, because that's the only way we save this club, is getting back in the Champions League. They desperately needed to win that Europa. Rubes, Alan Shearer, 15 million quid, but 240 plus goals. 15 million quid in 1995, whenever it was that Newcastle signed him. That was like a world record fee though, mate. It's up there. Like, that would be about 150 million or 120 million quid now, plus. It would be huge. Astronomical signing for Newcastle. Long live Met Warrior. Bruno is a complainer when things don't go his way, so it might be bad for United keeping him. I think it's bad for United in that I think they were planning for his money. They were planning for that £100 million revenue coming in. Almost like, well, we've not won the Champions League, so we're going to have to sell Bruno. Like, the money that they would have got from the Champions League maybe would have been around 100 million quid. So they need that revenue from somewhere else. Where do they get it? They've tried to sell Bruno. Bruno said, no, I'm staying. So now, I think that now puts a lot of pressure on United to go and get Garnacho sold, and Mainu sold, and Rashford, and Sancho, and Højlund, and, they're going to have to go and try and make money on those, and Anthony. They're going to have to go and try and make money on those players. And I think they're going to end up making a massive, massive loss on them. Højlund and Anthony are £160 million worth of finances that they've invested. Sancho as well. Sancho, Anthony, Højlund, Onana, probably another one. These are like 300 million quid that they've like book value they've put forward to, and they're still owing on those players. They're gonna have to sell them for big losses. Connor Davis, being a Celtic fan, we're very good at developing players and getting big fees. Just hard to keep hold of them. Yeah, I think that's sad sort of truth about the SPL these days, isn't it? It's just the standard has fallen so low. But Celtic, yeah, be interesting to see how they get on next season. And will Rangers renew the rivalry? Will there be a chance of Rangers getting closer to them under Russell Martin? Connor Ronaldo to United for 15 million. I think it was 12, wasn't it, from Sporting, yeah. Aaron Lennon, thoughts on Mbeumo joining United? If he joins United, I thought there's a lot of work to be done. And Mbeumo's been off. United offered 45 million for him, and I think Brentford are looking at it and going, well, hang on a minute, you've just paid 70 for Matheus Cunha. You paid 70 million for Matheus Cunha, so if you think for 1 second we're accepting less than 70 for Bryan Mbeumo, who's as good, if not better, than Matheus Cunha, then you're pissing in the wind. I'm sorry. He's got 2 years left on his contract. He's going nowhere. Bryan Mbeumo is going absolutely nowhere unless you're paying big cash for him, and you ain't getting that with 45 million quid. So, yeah, it's an early tentative bid from United, but if they try to keep underbidding, I just can't see United getting him. Unless they're going to have to spend big money to get him in. And there's a big gap. I think there's a good maybe £25 million gap in valuation between them and Brentford. Aaron Lennon, who do you support? I'm a Liverpool fan, Aaron. FRQZ, thoughts on Chelsea saying no to Mannion for 30 mil and valuing him at 12 because it's last year in his contract. I'm not sure Mannion would have been a great signing for Chelsea anyway. I think they do need a keeper, but I'm not sure Mannion's the one. And they've got loads of keepers. Chelsea need to be prioritising selling players. They haven't got enough players to... I mean, they've got too many players. They've got far too many players. They need to sell them. They need to make some sales to try and at least show like they're trying to comply with FFP. He is a world-class keeper, in my opinion, worth the 30 mil. Nah, I'm not sure. I'm not sure he is. He's an okay keeper. He's no more than an okay keeper. He's been really poor for AC Milan this season. Aaron, do you think Wirtz will sign for Liverpool? Yeah, he has signed for Liverpool, mate. It's done. It's pretty much done. He's agreed the personal terms. He only wants Liverpool. Liverpool and Bayer Leverkusen are just agreeing the finer points. It's pretty much done. It's pretty much done. Long live Mech Warrior. They're not giving Anthony a chance. No, apparently they're still in discussions with Real Betis to see if they can sign Anthony. But Anthony, he wants to go back to Spain. He definitely doesn't want to stay at Man United. The same with Sancho. But yeah, there's not too many clubs that are knocking the door down for Man United at big money. Yeah, they're just not worth the money that United paid, and that's the problem. Same with Rashford. Rashford's on 325k a week. No one's paying that. No one's paying anywhere close to that. Not even paying half that. So what do? How do you get him out the club? You're not going to get a club to pay a transfer fee and 325k a week. Absolutely laughing. FRQZ, Wirtz is not worth the money Liverpool have paid. Well, time will tell. Time will tell. We watched him last night. I thought he was fantastic. Last night. It was really good. And we've seen a lot of Florian Wirtz over the season. At 22 years of age, he's one of the best number 10s in world football, and that's the going rate for the best players in football, isn't it? He's if you could go and sign a Kevin De Bruyne at 23 years of age again from Manchester City before he signed for City, you'd go and do it, wouldn't you? And you'd probably be paying 120, 130 mil. So I do. I think that's about right. Right, we're off for the second half here again. Off and underway in Perth. Australia 0, Japan 0. Second half. Please, let's bring some goals. Preferably to Japan. No offence to the Socceroos, of course. But I do think Japan are the team most likely to go in front here. Unless there's been a big change at half-time. Michael, I did notice that Jota was a sub yesterday for Portugal as Ronaldo is ahead of him in the team. Yeah. I think with Roberto Martinez, he's just looking at it and going, we've only got a couple of years left, maybe, of Ronaldo, maybe only 1 year. The World Cup next year is probably when he finishes. So I think he's gonna go to the end of the 2026 World Cup. He wants to get that 1,000 goals, doesn't he? So he needs to be playing as often as possible. And yeah, I think he's going to get picked over whoever it is at centre forward. I think Goncalo Ramos is a fabulous centre forward. He should get more game time for Portugal. Same with Jota, but Cristiano Ronaldo's Cristiano Ronaldo. He's one of the best around. Michael, I thought Villa would have signed Rashford as he did well at Villa in his loan spell. I think he only ended up getting about 5 goals in his loan spell at Villa. He wasn't worth 40 million quid, and evidently they've agreed with that. I think they've sent him back, and there's no way they're paying the 320, especially with no Champions League football as well. No Champions League football, no Champions League money. Rashford isn't going there. I think Rashford wants a team in the Champions League as well, so I don't think Rashford would love going to Villa either. Like, if he was going to go, it almost feels like Rashford's views of himself as a player is a lot higher than everyone else's views of him as a player. And I think he probably would go back to Villa, but only on the understanding that he keeps getting paid 325k a week. And that probably would scupper the move, wouldn't it? FRQZ, Sancho tried asking Chelsea for 300k. Not good. FRQ said he's a very good player. I don't doubt that for the second. I just don't think he's made for the Prem. Why? Did you know? Honestly, players just bounce off Florian Wirtz, and the work rate, the ethic I saw from him last night, and I've saw from him all season in the Bundesliga. Tracking back, he gets kicked all over the place, and he gets back and kicks him in. Oh, Australia, what are you doing? Chance, Japan, hit from distance here, miles over the bar. Japan messing about with it at the back. The keeper's had an absolute shocker there. And it came out to... who is it who comes out to at the end? Poor goalkeeping. Really poor goalkeeping. But it comes out to the Australian number 11, I think. And he just skies it. Rolls head. Probably out the stadium, that one. Sexy Dexty, Patrick Yazbek on for Ryan Teague and Riley McGree on for Martin Boyle. Definitely more attacking legs. Let's hope the Sugs work. Yeah, I was going to say, we've seen some changes for both teams. Makeda has gone off and Siko has come on. Ayumu Siko, who is a defender from Grasshoppers. So it's a defender for the defender. So a slight change for Japan at the back. Just a couple of extra pairs of legs. But yeah, Riley McGree of Middlesbrough. Hasn't played an awful lot for Borough this season, but he's on for Boyle, and Yazbek on for Ryan Teague, who didn't really see much of the ball in that game, if I'm really honest. Patrick Yazbek coming on. Japan have got the ball here in the Aussies half. I wonder if we are going to see a little bit of Wataru Endo and Takafusa Kubo before the end of the game. Michael, the big mistake Villa did was letting Duran go when he'd been doing so well for them and challenging for the first team spot with Watkins. I just think they got offered really big money, mate, and they couldn't turn it down. Japan to the byline. Chance for Japan. Gone behind. Good deflection there, or good bit of defending by Burgess. The wall, as he was called in the chat earlier. The wall, Burgess. Knocking it behind for a corner to Japan. Geordie, two good signings for Newcastle would have been James Trafford and Amad Diallo. You're not getting Amad Diallo at Newcastle. Although I do think that would have been a perfect signing, I agree, yeah. Amad Diallo from Man United, but you wouldn't get him out of United now. Although maybe you would, maybe, because United need to sell. They need to sell, and maybe there is a world where Amad Diallo could leave. Especially to another Champions League team. That's going to be a corner. Is it? No, throw into Australia. And James Trafford, I can't see. Yeah, James Trafford, I can't really see him staying. Or going to Newcastle, sorry. I think he stays at Burnley. It's a really dire situation at Man United. You bang right, Connor. Totally agree. It's kind of sad to see. Even as a Liverpool fan, I'm really, really quite sad to see it. I mean, it's funny, it's hilarious at times, but it is quite sad to see it. This once great club, this giant, kind of struggling and scrapping around and trying to find money from left, right and centre to try and make it work. And I do think they get a points deduction next season. If they get a points deduction next season, which is very infinitely possible. Sam McNeil, I'm going to go with the shot, mate. I'll still be watching while I'm walking. Good man. Cheers, Sam. Thank you for that. Apologies if you can hear next door, they're angle grinding something, so you might be able to hear some slight noise there. Geordie, yeah, but they love him and Mainu. Mainu and Amad Diallo to Newcastle. How much do you think that would cost? In what world do you think United sell them to? I think if you went and offered Manchester United 130, maybe 140 million for the pair, Ahmad and Mainu, that would, do you know what that would do? That would be beyond like securing the signings of the players. I think that would decimate Manchester United, like, in terms of morale. I think you'd be looking at 70 million for the pair, or 70 million each. And if you went and got them for about 70 million each, oh, United fans would crumble. They'd hate that. They'd hate that. Well, 52 minutes and it's still not really livened up, I've got to say. Michael, I was going to watch this match on One Soccer, but they were charging a fee to watch this match. I found a foreign channel that can watch this match for free. Oh, okay, nice. Sam McNeil, need some fizzy pop, mate, and some chocolate. Well, enjoy, Samuel. Long live Mech Warrior. It's not sad to see because they always brag about their past achievements and claim they're the richest club in the world. I don't feel sorry for Man United's demise. Okay. Well, I mean, I just believe that football's cyclical and it always goes in cycles. You'll see at some point in the future Manchester United will come back. They will be good again. You know, you're just kind of watching and waiting for when that upturn is, but it hasn't really come for a long time. Connor, imagine they have a fall off like Leeds had. Well, I do think there is a world where Manchester United's debt reaches a level that they just can't sustain, and FFP gets involved. They're spending, right now, Manchester United are spending so much money this summer window with no sign of recouping those losses. And unless they have a big sale lined up, which Bruno Fernandes would have been, then I don't see how they don't get a fine, a massive points deduction and a fine, and maybe a summer transfer window ban and all that sort of thing next year. They'll really struggle. So it feels like United are maybe taking an educated risk. They're going, let's just try and secure Champions League football. And if we don't, then yeah, we crash and burn. We crash and burn with it. Will, did you see the PSR figures released this morning? I haven't. No, I haven't seen them yet. What did they say? Give me the gist. Give me the clip notes. We are fine spending. PSR came out and we are 5th healthiest. No. It's not the case. Absolutely not the case. PSR's done over a 3-year period, mate. United are in real trouble. They're in real trouble. Mate, they really are. I don't know what you're looking at, but I'd have to have a look at it, but they're not. They're in real trouble. They're in real trouble. Oh, go on Twitter. All right, Twitter must be right then. Twitter's the oracle, after all. So, sorry, what are we saying? How's the game looking, pal? The game is looking, I'll be honest, it's been one of the most dull games we've watched on this channel. It's currently Australia 0, Japan 0. It's been a pretty poor game to watch, and that's mainly been because Australia, they're not anywhere near as good as Japan. And they've barely got the ball in Japan's half in the entire hour of football that we've watched. We've not really seen Australia with the ball in their half. Japan have pressed, and they've pressed quite well, and they've had a couple of half chances, but nothing really serious. And that's in part due to the fact that Japan have rested and dropped so many players. The likes of Takefusa Kubo, Wataru Endo, Takumi Minamino, Ryo Hatate, Daisen Maeda, Zion Suzuki, lots of players that you would expect to have started today for Japan. They're not playing because Japan have already qualified for the World Cup. So they're happy. Yeah, they're already done. And they're just controlling the game here. We've got Daiichi Kamada from Crystal Palace in the team today. And I'm sure Japan will probably make some changes at some point. But it's been a lot of long ball. That's what I'd say. It's been a lot of long ball. Lewis Judson, Will, as a United fan, that's defo a lie. Aston King, keep it calm, mate. Listen, I'm telling you, we'll absolutely will. I assure you, I will take a look at that. I assure you, I will take a look at it. And if I'm wrong, I'll hold my hands up. I'll hold my hands up and say I was wrong, right? But everything I've seen over the last 12 months, not just like recently, the last 12 months, says United are extremely close. They're extremely close to an FFP breach already. And Jim Ratcliffe has already said quite a few times the club has been close to running out of money. So everyone knows that the financial situation is dire at Manchester United. That's not news to anyone. For you to come out and say we're the fifth healthiest, Manchester United is the fifth healthiest, that would be shocking news, wouldn't it? So I can only interpret, mate, I can only assume that maybe you've misinterpreted what you've read. And I don't mean that in a patronising way, but it would be headline news if Manchester United was suddenly the fifth healthiest team in terms of PSR, wouldn't it? Everyone would be shocked by that. It's not news to say Man United are in the mud. Will, you are aware there's a difference between PSR and being rich? Yes, absolutely. Yeah, spend, turnover to wages, all of that. Yeah, absolutely, of course. I know how it's calculated, mate. What I'm saying to you is that Jim Ratcliffe talked about money running out in terms of actually liquid cash, money running out, and the club being ran horrendously poorly only a few months ago. He spoke about this. The club are in the mud financially. He said his money's running out. Like, they've not really got a lot of money. They needed big money. They needed a cash injection from somewhere, and obviously no Champions League football, no Bruno Fernandes sale. The club continuing to spend is actually signs of desperation, not signs of promise. It's signs of desperation. They need to get the money coming in. They need to get Champions League revenue. It's crash or burn for United. Then check that then. Just check that post and then change your narrative. Go on, I'll search it. I'll humour you. I'll humour you. Let's have a look. There you go. Right, so I've seen the post that you're talking about. Yeah, that's pre-tax losses allowable under Premier League PSR rules this month. Yeah, that's this year. Yeah, they're fine this year. There's no problem this year. Absolutely not at all. I didn't say this year. I'm talking about next year. Have a look at next year. See if you can get a forecast for next year. The change is quite stark, mate. The change is very, very stark. All of Manchester United's cumulative losses come in the last 12 months. So that's where it's going to hit United in the next 12 months. Not now. This month they're fine. This month they're absolutely fine. Christ, you didn't say that. There you go. Safe from 24-25 PSR breach. And it literally just lists all the clubs that are safe. Yeah. United are one of them. Nobody said they were going to get a transfer ban or a points deduction this year. They're fine. It's calculated across 3 years. There's no way at all that United are in danger this year. They're fine. They're fine this year. As are Arsenal, as are Spurs, as are Chelsea, Brighton, City, West Ham. Everyone is absolutely fine. The only teams that are close are your Villas, and Villa is because of how close they run in terms of turnover to wages. I think it was 93% Villa turnover to wages? 93%. Very, very expensive wages compared to how much money is actually coming in. And that's a very definite strategy from Aston Villa. They've chosen that, to pay the big wages, to get the good players, the good manager, to try and get them up there. And that's cost them. And that's why now they probably can't spend big this summer. And Everton and Leeds United, they should be okay. There's really only Villa who are a little bit close to it. Burnley, they're on the other side of it, but Burnley should be fine once the Premier League revenue starts kicking in. JEFC, Everton top 6-7 next season. I think you're pissing in the wind there, Jay. Everton need about 15 new signings just to stay up next season. Ryan, who do you support, mate? I'm a Liverpool fan. I'm a Liverpool fan, Ryan. Ginge, United will be fine. The FA and Premier League have set a precedent with City ruling. I'm not worried at all. They've not ruled on City. So I don't know what they're going to be talking about in terms of the precedent they've set. They've not set any precedent. Well, it's a literal myth that United are in as deep water as is made out. Well, I think you might find out. In 12 months' time, mate, I think you might find out. Maybe even sooner. That Manchester United are not quite in as healthier financial position as maybe you thought they were. They aren't in a very, very healthy financial position. Nobody really thinks that. For this season, they're fine. Yeah, for this season, they're fine. As we all know, it's calculated over 3 years. And Man United have spent very, very big in the last 3 years. And a lot of their losses come in the last 3 years. Especially having no Champions League football and no Champions League revenue. Connor Davis, why was the money from Champions League so critical then and needing to sell your top players? Exactly, yeah. Exactly. Ginge, exactly. They've set zero precedent. Clubs can do as they please. No, they can't. They can't do as they please because there is a punishment ongoing for Manchester City. There is a lot of Newcastle, Man United, Liverpool, every other club, but mainly Newcastle, it feels like. Newcastle and Chelsea are watching that City sort of punishment. They're watching it with bated breath because if City do get let off, then there is a precedent set. But there is no precedent set right now because City are still being investigated. City are still being charged. So the precedent that you're talking about has been set. City have been charged for it. They've just not been punished for it yet. So all that is still to be adjudicated. That's the thing you've got to watch out for. But Man United, it kind of baffles me. It baffles me that we've got Man United fans in the chat coming in and saying Man United are one of the fifth healthiest club in the Premier League in terms of finances. You're off your meds, lads. You're off your meds. Ryan, do you think Saka is world class? Do I think Saka is world class? In terms of the way that I define world class is top 5 on the right side, or the top 5 in your position in world football. That's how I define world class. If you're in the top 5 in your position in world football, I would consider you to be world class. So Saka, he's probably just about, isn't he? Yeah, he's probably just about in that top 5. So I'd say he's world class. Yeah, I'd say he's world class. H. Smith, how many times have you seen Liverpool win a league title in your lifetime? Just the 2. Yeah, just the 2, mate. Yeah, just the 2. Just the 2. I've seen us win Champions Leagues, Europa Leagues. I've seen us win FA Cups, League Cups. I've been round the world watching Liverpool. Liverpool have been incredibly successful. I'm made up with it, yeah. And we're now the most successful English team of all time. So, yeah, it's all good. That wasn't really a flex. I don't know what you was hoping to achieve with that comment, but didn't quite hit the mark you was hoping for. Divock Origi, Casemiro stealing a living at United as well. Time to go Brazil. They're all stealing a living at United, aren't they? They're all stealing a living. Hotspur Army, hello Spurs fan. I'm not a Spurs fan. You know that, but I do like Spurs. And Spurs, obviously, I really like mainly because they beat United in the Europa League final. Connor Davis, obviously a big amount of money, but this would be expected from teams like Brighton. 1 second, catch me up. Jake, Newcastle watching, wanting the rules changing to be fair, not to take the piss. They will take the piss, though. That's what it is. It's the rules are fair if City get punished. But if City don't get punished, then Newcastle will take the piss. That is exactly what's going to happen. Of course it is. Hotspur Army, I miss world class Sonny. Let's not talk about how he's won the Champions League. And Kuram, someone tell me Cristiano Ronaldo isn't 40. Well, he's not necessarily playing like he's 40, but he certainly is. Michael, I feel that Birmingham City and Wrexham could be a new force. Have big American backing. City paid 50 million for Stansfield last season. A record for League One, as there is no PSI yet for League One and below. Yeah, they could, couldn't they? I guess they could, but you look at Wrexham, they're going to need time. Oh, unlucky, it's gone behind for a goal kick. Japan flying forward. Sam, out on my walk now, mate. Enjoy it. Get your chocolate and your fizzy drinks or whatever he was after. Sam, we've already covered that one. Long live Mech Warrior. Amorim sacked after 5 games. He won't get sacked. They can't afford to sack him. United can't afford to sack him. That's problem number 1 they've got. They can't afford to sack him. Michael, Man United have wasted big money on signings like Anthony, Sancho, Højlund, Onana, Mount. Can't believe United paid 55 million for Mount. Poor recruitment, no long-term strategic planning of players. Yep, and they still owe big money on all of those players, don't they? That's the thing. They've not finished paying for those players yet, and they've already decided they're not good enough. That's how bad it is for United. They've not finished paying for those players, and they've still got to pay for them. They're still on tick. They're on Klarna. Right, Duke and Guerrier coming on for Australia. Barello's just gone off. Couple more changes we've seen in this game. Let's have a little look-see as we enter the last 25 minutes. Nakamura came on and Kubo have come on as well. Kubo's come on for Sano, so Japan may just have a little bit more attacking invention down that right-hand side. Kito Nakamura as well, the forward from Ream, coming on for Kota Tawara Tatsumida. Tawaratsumiida. I'm trying. Ronaldo's going to be 70 when he retires. Jake had multiple chances to take the piss and haven't. Kind of frustrating when everyone else does. Hotspur Army, have you seen the Spurs kit? I have, yes, I have. I've seen it. It's good. Good kit. Very good kit. Yeah, so we're into the last 25 minutes here. The last 25 minutes, Takefusa Kubo has come on. So that's the main. And Nakamura, of course. I was hoping we'd see Endo, but no. Japan are making another change here. The number 4's just gone off. Takai and Makino is coming on. Takai and Makino coming on for Japan. Connor Davis, did you go to Spike Island? What's Spike Island? I don't know what Spike Island is. I'm going to have to educate myself now. Is this a reference to someone I look like, maybe? Spike Island. Former industrial site in Bristol and an artificial island in Widnes. No. An artificial sand between the Sankey Canal. Mate, that's the first time I've even heard of Spike Island. I should really have known that because I've lived around there, Sankey and Warrington, for a good while. But yeah, I've never even heard of that. Stone Roses played a gig there. All right, okay, well, there you go. I'm learning all the time. Hotspur Army, can't wait for the black one that's apparently the away kit. I like dark kits. Okay. Jake, Kubo linked with Liverpool and Newcastle in recent windows. Do you think he can cut it in the Prem? No. No, he's a talented player, Kubo, but he lacks the final ball. Yeah, the final ball just doesn't quite work with him. We're into the last 20 minutes here of this one. I'm hoping we're not going to break our... We've not had a 0-0 on this channel for a very, very long time. We've not watched 0-0s on this channel. What is this keeper doing? This keeper is an absolute maniac for Japan. Honestly, there's a few times he's come charging out his box. Thinks he's a sweeper keeper, the lad. Get Zion Suzuki back in. This lad keeps thinking he's a sweeper keeper. He's flying out of his box. Causing chaos at the back. Do you have the gold Prem badge this season? No, I don't think so. Isn't the gold Prem badge only for if you... Although, no, yeah, I think we do have the gold Prem badge, don't we? Yeah, I think we will have it. Kubo was supposed to be great, says Divock Origi. Yeah, he is a very good player. He's a tidy player. But he reminds me a lot of... I just think he'd come to the Premier League and he'd do exactly what his compatriot Takumi Minamino did. I think Minamino was a very, very good player. And still is a very good player, by the way. He went to Monaco. Oh, what is this keeper doing again? Honestly, I've called it with this Japanese keeper. Oh, it's gone out for a throw into Australia. But Jesus Christ, the amount of times this keeper has given the ball away under no pressure at all. I mean, I'll concede it's a little bit of a bobbly pitch. It's not as, it's not as seamless as we would have liked. But this keeper, he's having an absolute shocker. Japan's keeper, the next version of Fraser Foster, mate, he's worse than Fraser Foster. It's Japan's second choice keeper. Zion Suzuki is the one who should be in goal. But this keeper, who is he? Who is he? I don't know who he is. I need to find his name. Let's find his name so we can hate watch him going forward. The Japanese keeper is Kosai Tani of Makita Zelvia in the Japanese league, in the J League. Here we go. Japan coming forward here. They get forward, crossing, chance. It's gone behind. It's going to be a corner to Japan. Kubo at the back post there, coming in. Honestly, mate, he's playing for Makita Zelvia in the J League. And his save percentage is like 50 odd percent. No, how can you have a save percentage of 50 odd percent? Shocking. Absolutely shocking. Jake, be another Mudryk in my opinion. No band, just underwhelming. Divock Origi, I'd probably rate Kubo more than Minamino, to be honest. I think much of a muchness, but I think Takumi Minamino was incredibly underrated. Japan with a shot. Cleared away by Australia again. Michael, are Liverpool copying the likes of Brighton using data-driven tech to recruit players? I know my club Leeds United are now using that model to recruit players, and a number of clubs are starting to use it. I think data's been in the game for a very long time, Michael. It's not just Brighton. Brighton use that model and use it very, very well. But all clubs have had access to data modelling systems and, to be able to forecast players' trajectories and all this sort of thing, and looking at raw data from players all over the world to try and understand and see how they would adapt to the Premier League based on how they play and in how they press and all this different things. There's lots of... And do you know why that is? Do you know what it really does just boil down to? The money men at the very, very top. The money men. The men who and I say men. the people at the very, very top of football who sign the checks, who say, this is what we're going to spend. We're going to spend £100 million on this player, right? In order to sign that check, they often want some sort of numericals that will the rationale behind it. And Liverpool with Florian Wirtz, for example, can look at it and go, if we're not talking to a football person, like if I can have a conversation with someone like, say, John Henry, right? Now, John Henry, he owns Liverpool Football Club, but he isn't... Maybe he's not a football man. Maybe he's a baseball guy. Maybe he likes baseball. He's not really... doesn't watch football all that much, right? Even though... Right? You can still have a reasonable conversation with John Henry if you're talking numbers and business. And you could say to him, listen... We've done the numbers on Florian Wirtz, and based on all these numbers and all these factors, we think he has an 84% chance of being a success in the Premier League. Therefore, you can sign this £130 million cheque with confidence. That makes sense to John Henry. If you sit down John Henry and you say, listen, Florian Wirtz is brilliant. He's absolutely brilliant. We've got all these guys who watch football day in, day out, and he passes the eye test. He's got such great movement on and off the ball. John Henry would just be like, I mean, yeah, that's all great, but, what have we got in terms of numbers? What factors are we really looking at here? What's his injury record like? What's his pass completion rate like? All this sort of stuff. LD, Wirtz is going to be a signing for Liverpool. He couldn't even mark Bruno. Mate, he left 2 stud marks on Bruno. Bruno didn't get a kick last night, and Wirtz left with a goal for Germany. He was their best player last night. Jake, Minamino was underrated, but Kubo is overrated. That's probably fair to say, isn't it? Yeah, there's a reason why Takefusa Kubo, a few years ago, he was being linked with a lot of top teams, wasn't he? And now all of a sudden he isn't. Sociedad finished 12th last year in La Liga. You know, he was a big part of that. Zubamendi was a big part of that too, of course. Hotspur Army. LD, what team do you support? I reckon I can guess. Hotspur Army. Jake, Divock Origi, soon to get rid of him though. Kept players like Vasquez over him, etc. It's absolutely bouncing down with rain here. It's not in Australia, of course. In Perth, it's glorious. I think this is Daniel Azani coming on. Another ex-Manchester City player is about to come on for the Socceroos. Sam McNeil, hello mate, back from the shop. Good to see you, Sam. Oh, thank God that keeper caught that one. Hotspur Army 1882, did they lose in a European final? Yes, that's a very big clue. Yeah, I'll give you a clue. They lost in a European final this season, and they aren't Betis or Inter. Last 15 minutes. Come on, Japan. Let's get a goal. Come on, the Blue Samurai. That's what they're called. The Japanese national team is known as the Blue Samurai. Come on, give us a goal. Japan down the right-hand side here. Stood up. It's gone behind for a corner. Lynchy, that's a funny Scouse accent. It's not a Scouse accent. No, it's not a Scouse accent. Maybe your twang detector is a little bit askew, mate. No, I'm not. It's not Scouse. No, it's not Scouse. Saka Nihon Daihyo, or Samurai Blue in Japanese. There you go. How about that? Corner from Japan. Divock Origi, so I'm agreeing he's overrated, but the expectations come from being a prospect. That's true. Hotspur Army, Manchester United, is that the correct guess? I think it is. Yeah, I think it is the correct guess. You're not far away. Here's Azani coming on for Australia. Metcalf's coming off. Daniel Azani, once of Manchester City. Once again, another player who big things were expected of him. Hasn't quite worked out in his career, maybe at the top level. But he's about to come on for the last 10-15 minutes here in this one to see if Australia can get a goal. Looks a little bit like Coutinho, doesn't he? Aston King score update. It is 0-0. Australia 0, Japan 0. You've not missed a classic. I've got to be really honest, mate. Liverpool 3-5-3-6. What game are you watching? We're watching Australia v Japan. And Japan with a shot. Get in! Oh, just wide! Just wide from the man we were talking about, Takefusa Kubo. Oh, unlucky. Japan very nearly going 1-0 up there. Great little play, and it was just, inches wide of the far post. So close. Really unlucky for Japan. Is Endo starting? No, Endo's on the bench, mate. Aston King, what else are you watching today? Well, we're back tonight for France against Spain in the UEFA Nations League semi-final, the second one after Germany and Portugal last night. So if you want to go and check that out, if you want to go and watch that, make sure you've clicked up here and followed. Make sure you go over to YouTube as well. If you haven't yet already, get over to YouTube, search Premier League Dad. You get a slightly different camera angle, slightly better audio quality. And you get a scoreboard, you get goal animations, you get the clock, you get a bit more. So yeah, make sure you've followed and gone over to YouTube and subscribed. Premier League Dad, thanks very much for everyone that's done so and supported us. Massive thanks to everyone that has. As we enter the last 10 minutes here in Perth. Michael, I noticed Japan players don't have their surname on the backs of their shirts. Don't the associations get a fine for not complying? I don't know why that is. Usually they do, but maybe it's do you know what it can be? Sometimes it can be something as simple as the kit man forgot the kit. That's happened a lot of times, in big fixtures. Kitman's forgot the kit, or the kitman's brought the wrong kit, or kitman's not brought enough of the right kit, and then what they have to do is they have to sort of go out and get replacement kits, like replica kits. They have to find them. It's absolutely mad. You'd be surprised how many times things like that has happened in proper professional football. Substub, I've got to go. See you later. No worries, Substub. Take it easy, man. See you in a bit. Tommy Mills, what are you watching this on? I'm watching it on OneFootball. Yeah, you can watch it on OneFootball. Rubes, I was an OG subscriber. You are? Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. And an OG subscriber you remain. Divock Origi, low-key worried about Wirtz. Nah, I'm not worried about Wirtz at all, mate. He's done. He's signed. He's signed. Reveal Clothing, Gyökeres wants United move. Your thoughts? It doesn't surprise me. Yeah, it doesn't surprise me that he wants United. The United move seems like a really, really obvious thing for Victor Gyökeres because nobody else is really coming in for him. I think Victor Gyökeres, I've said it a few times now, but I do think Victor Gyökeres expected this summer where he would get a really big move, that he's had a great season at Sporting, and then as soon as the season finishes, he'd have Barcelona knocking on his door and top teams who are looking for a centre forward, maybe Real Madrid, maybe Liverpool, maybe Arsenal, or the best of the best, PSG coming in and going for him. And actually, the window started, and I think he's found out very quickly he's not anywhere close to the priority for those teams. I think all those teams are looking at different centre forwards. They're all looking at Alvarez or Sesko or Osimhen or other players who are just not. Because I don't think many people rate Victor Gyökeres as highly as perhaps he rates himself. And there is concerns about Victor Gyökeres. Whereas for Manchester United, look, Amarim's already worked with him for many years. Amarim's got the best out of him in previous years. Admittedly, it was in the Portuguese league. But yeah, I don't think there's a lot of confidence in Gyökeres adapting to the Prem. So I think that's why there's not many teams scrambling for his signature. And the fact that Man United are probably at the front of the queue, it says more about Victor Gyökeres than it does anyone else. Divock Origi, worried about how he's going to play. Don't want Wirtz to be the next Kai Havertz. Mate, he'll play off the left. He'll play where Luis Diaz plays. Yeah, he'll drift in. Luis Diaz Wirtz and Mo Salah will drift in like that. They'll start wide and drift in. And then you'll have Kirkes and Frimpong bombing forward. We'll be absolutely fine next year. Absolutely fine. It's brilliant. Come on, Japan. Last 5, last 10. Can we get a goal in this one? Rubes, if Amarim hadn't have left, I think Gyökeres would have done better. I mean, you can't say. I mean, he's not done. He's done really well. He's got, 95 in like 102 games or something like that for Sporting. He can't do much better. He can't do much better in Portugal. He's doing about as well as anyone can do. But I just think there's a real question about his adaptability with the Premier League. There's plenty of players who've come from the Portuguese league and just haven't quite took to it. And I think we're going to see a bit of that again with Gyökeres. Thank you for that, Connor Davis. Appreciated. Thank you. And Jake as well. Thank you for the treasure box. Quick reminder again, if you've not already subscribed, if you're watching on YouTube, please do so. But also, remember, we're live tonight again for France and Spain. Oh, there's a claim for the handball there. You're not going to get that. Japan pushing forward again, but you're not going to get that handball. No chance. Razine, good to see you, Razine. How are you, mate? Excited for the Nations League, feeling sick, but still, yeah, by the way, Liverpool have rejected Barca offer for Luis Diaz. Yes, excited for the Nations League. We've got France and Spain later on tonight. We're going to be live for that one. Looking forward to it. And Liverpool rejected an offer from Barca for Diaz. It's going to have to be a very, very big one for Liverpool to be tempted by Luis Diaz to sell him. I think you're looking at sort of 80 million plus. Double what we paid for him. Double what we paid for him. Divock Origi wouldn't sell Diaz. Well, in an ideal world, we wouldn't sell him. But here's the problem we've got, right? As a Liverpool fan, here's the problem we've got. He's on £50,000 a week. He wants a pay rise. He wants a new contract. He actually, allegedly, it's believed he wants to stay at Liverpool. But Liverpool aren't going to pay him 200 grand a week, 150 grand a week. We're not going to quadruple his wages. It's, we were prepared to do that for Trent. We're not prepared to do that for Luis Diaz. So you've got 2 years left on your contract. We're happy to keep you for £50,000 a week and you can stay on that. Unless a club comes in and puts a big offer on the table. At that point, then we'll consider it. And Liverpool have to think about that, because 80 million quid for a player with 2 years left on the contract, that's the right thing to do, isn't it? You sell him. Better that than him walk for free. And in 12 months' time, he would be getting offers from clubs to say, listen, stay for another 12 months and we'll pay you a big signing-on fee. But yeah, I think he'd quite like to stay at Liverpool, but I don't think for 1 second that we're gonna give him the contract that he wants. So I think he ends up leaving. Sam McNeil, you should stream Faroe Islands v Gibraltar, mate. When's that? When's Faroe Islands v Gibraltar? What time does that kick off? Is that a friendly? No, Faroe Islands v Georgia is at 5 o'clock. Are you on about Faroe Islands v Georgia? That'd have been a good game. Mamadashvili and Kvaratskhelia and Mikatadze. Divock Núñez going out the door as well. Yeah, Núñez is going. Diaz is going. I think there would be potentially links with Jota as well. Apparently Spurs were looking at Jota. It depends. I guess it depends. Ball in from Japan. Chance. Oh, unlucky. Just wide of that far post again. Sam, I think it's 7:45, mate. It's a qualifier match. Qualifier match for what? Long live Mech Warrior. Is Faroe Islands in Asia? No, Faroe Islands is Scandinavia, mate. Michael, wanting Australia to qualify. A draw puts them 4 points ahead of Saudi, with Saudi to play away to Bahrain. With only one win. Should Saudi win that match, then they'll play Aus at home last game. And this is it. And we'd have to do that game, wouldn't we? We would have to do that game. That would be massive. Saudi Arabia against Australia for the winner to maybe go through to the World Cup 2026. I think the Saudis will beat Bahrain later today. Yeah, I do think Saudi Arabia will win that one. I can't see Gibraltar against Faroe Islands. I don't know what that is. Is that today? Are you sure that's today? That isn't today. That isn't today. World Cup qualifying. Is it? It isn't. It isn't. There's no World Cup qualifier on today. Absolutely no World Cup qualifier on today, apart from these. Reveal clothing. Will Trent go down as a Liverpool legend, or did he need to stay to have that status? I think he'll go down as a Liverpool legend, but he won't be maybe the icon that he could have been. Oh, Australia with a chance here. Oh, they've scored. Oh my God, they've scored. Oh my God, they've scored. Australia have won it. For fuck's sake. Oh, Australia have gone ahead. It's 1-0 to the Socceroos. And it's a great goal in the 90th minute. Australia have probably just secured World Cup 2026. And there's 3 minutes of added on time. We've all had Japan here. We've all had Japan. But the Japanese have thrown it away in the last minute. The very last minute. He got down the right-hand side. He pulled it back to the edge of the box. And who is it who scored it? Who is it who scored it? Absolutely unbelievable, this. Is he onside? You bet he is. He's pulled it back to the edge of the penalty spot. And then number 16 there. Number 16. Who is it who smashed it in? Behic. Aziz Behic. Oh, it's there. Number 34. Oh, 34 he is. But yeah, Australia, that's a huge goal for the Aussies. 1-0. 1-0. And now the Saudi Arabia game doesn't really matter, Michael, because as it stands, the Aussies are going to the World Cup. The Socceroos are going. Oh my goodness me. Sexy Dexty, the scream I've just screamed. Oh my days. Oh, it's massive. Absolutely massive for Australia. And we've got 90 seconds left here. Japan aren't going to throw everything forward. They're already qualified. Oh, here we go. That's a bad head injury as well. That's grim. That is absolutely grim. I'm down on pretty much everything now. I am down on everything. When I say everything, I mean everything. Alright, well, there you go. That's how quickly it all changes. That's how quickly it all changes. Japan throwing it away in the last minute. Suppose both teams win here except your Aka. Oh, my Aka's down. Yeah, it's absolutely gone to the wall. Gal Nunes has done irreparable damage to the way people view the Portuguese league. I don't think it's necessarily just down to Nunes, though. There's a lot of people who've come from the Portuguese league and just not really thrived. It's been a difficult league to adapt from the Portuguese league to the Prem. Historically. €80 down the train. Yeah, mate, you're not the only one. You're not the only one. I can't believe they've just rattled that in. It was a great finish, I've got to say. It was a great finish. Sam, if Saudi win today and beat Australia, don't Australia miss out? No, I don't think they do. I don't think they do, because it's still... they're 3 points clear of Saudi. So now they'll be 6 points clear of Saudi, right? Yeah, they're 6 points clear of Saudi. So Saudi would have to win. No, yeah, they'd have to win and win again, and they'd have to win quite considerably. Australia have got a +8 on Saudi. Saudi have got a -2 goal difference, so there'd have to be some swing in the next 2 games. Saudi would have to beat Bahrain tonight by about 8-0. And then they'd have to beat Australia by about 4-0. Or something stupid like that for it to actually balance out. Yeah, there's no way. Australia need a point against Saudi, and Saudi need to win against Bahrain and against the Aussies on the final game. Can't see it happening. Saudi can still go to the World Cup, as it'll be a 6 point difference. Should Saudi beat Bahrain, it'll be down to 3. And if they beat Australia, it'll come down to goal. Yeah, it'll come down to goal difference, but Australia have got +8. Saudi are down to -2. So there's a 10 goal swing over 2 games would need to happen. Well, 11 goal swing over 2 games. It's going to be impossible. It's going to be nearly impossible. So you're looking at it and you're thinking, well, okay, well then Japan's going to have to... Australia's going to have to just take a point. Saudi Arabia... Well, they could still get to the World Cup themselves, the Saudis, but they would need to go through the next round, the playoffs, where they play off against the likes of, Iraq, Oman, UAE, Qatar. There's not many teams can go through in that one. Reveal Clothing. Who do you see winning tonight, Spain or France, and which player are you keen to watch? I see Spain winning it. And which player am I keen to watch? I'm looking forward to seeing a bit more of Nico Williams. I think there's a lot of clubs who are looking and watching and waiting and seeing what happens with him, but just there's still a little bit of hesitancy about him. I'm always looking forward to seeing Lamine Yamal and obviously, your Mbappe's and... yeah, I mean, I'm just intrigued to see. It'd be interesting to see what lineups there are, actually, because both of these nations have great teams, don't they? They have some great players, but we'll just have to see exactly what the lineups look like. We're very, very close here. Very, very close to full time. We're into the 6th minute of 3 minutes added on time. Chelsea forever. Greetings from West Germany. Good to see you. Auf Wiedersehen. Nearly. Is it down to goal difference or goal difference based on goal difference against each other? I think it's goal difference. Yeah, I think it's goal difference. Pedri, yeah. Pedri, user not found 600. That's a good shout as well. I cannot believe the Aussies have won this. I honestly can't believe it. They had nothing all game. They've been so poor all game. And Japan have just nicked it. Aussies have just nicked it. Chelsea forever. Our performance yesterday was so bad. Hope we can reach the 3rd place. Performance yesterday? What performance? Oh, from Germany. Oh, right, yeah, sorry. Yeah, Germany's performance wasn't great yesterday, was it? Michael, I don't think Messi or Mbappe were as good as Lamal at Lamal's age of 17. Well, that's entirely your right to think so, mate. I have to strongly disagree. But yeah, that's entirely your right. Maybe Mbappe wasn't, but Messi was. Yeah, Messi was different class. Connor Davis, keep up the consistency, mate. You'll get there. The streams are good quality, especially the YouTube. Thank you very much, Connor. Thank you. I appreciate that. You're a gent for saying so. It means, trust me, I quit my job to do this, so it's not always easy going, and it's sometimes you think to yourself, oh, just don't be stupid, go and get a job. But yeah, no, this is that's very, very helpful. Thank you very much for saying that. What do you think about Palmer, number 10? No, Cole Palmer doesn't play number 10. And there you go, the Aussies have won it. The Aussies have won it, 1-0. What a performance at the end there for Australia to just nick it, and a massive, massive result for Australian football to get them basically there to the World Cup 2026. They're basically there. The scenes here are absolutely, absolutely outrageous. RC798, I like the profile picture, mate. Can I ask a non-football related question but still a sensible one? Ask whatever you want, mate. I'm an open book. As long as it's respectful, I'll answer whatever you ask. No problem. Connor, I remember you saying that a while ago. Yeah, no, it does. I was going to say, mate, it does. It means a lot when you get statements like that. Do you think Ben Shepherd deserves more work? He seems like a nice guy, doesn't he? I mean, the shirt number. Oh God, yeah, no, I don't. I mean, the shirt number I don't really mind. Doesn't really make much of a difference to me. I think he should get lingo. He's excelled at tipping point for ages. Maybe he's next up for the chase after Bradley Walsh. You never know. Could do. Right. Kieran, have you heard anything as to whether Tottenham have sacked Ange? Have I heard anything? I think the rumours this week are that Daniel Levy has just returned from holiday and that he's going to make a firm decision this week. I think he's already made the decision. They've just not communicated it externally. So for me, there's no news, but no news is still bad news for Ange Postecoglou. I'm almost certain he's going. And I think that's bad for Tottenham. I'm disappointed. I'd quite like him to keep Ange. Rubes, there's only one stat that matters. Premier League Dad United versus Spurs. Thank you. Michael, Ange must be the only Australian coach to have won a European trophy. I think he is, yeah. I think he is. Reveal Clothing, which one player are you gutted that Liverpool didn't get? Oh, probably Dani Alves. Yeah, Dani Alves back in the day. We were so close to getting Dani Alves. He would have been a great signing for Liverpool at the time. We ended up going getting Glenn Johnson, basically. Yeah, Glenn Johnson was the player we ended up with. Chelsea forever. Everybody says the club want to make him the new Eden, but never, ever. I think he's better than Eden Hazard, mate. I think he's better than Eden Hazard. I really do. I never rated Eden Hazard that wildly. RC798, I remember really wanting Conor Plianka. Yeah. We were very close to signing Conor Plianka, weren't we? Yeah, then Conor Plianka. Whatever happened to him? Yeah, I remember us being very close to signing him. That one just never quite worked out with Liverpool. And obviously Alex Teixeira as well. You might remember Alex Teixeira. Palmer is better than Hazard. I think Palmer's ceiling is bigger than Hazard's ceiling. Yeah, and I'd be honest, mate, I never rated Hazard that highly. Like, at his absolute peak, he was very good, but he was never, like, best player in the world. I don't think he's in the top 20 Premier League players of all time, let's say that. Like, he's not. I think there's better wide players than Eden Hazard. Jake, Premier League have failed in a bid to stop clubs selling assets to sister companies to comply with PSR. That's bad. That is very bad news. RC798, him and Downing would have been the best partnership since Mulhern and Shepherd. Kuz, Hazard, he's better than Salah. No, he's not. No, he's not. Divock Origi, remember when Sacco was our best centre-back and we froze him out the club? Well, we froze him out the club because he was consistently late to team meetings. That was why. Yeah, he was consistently late. That was the problem. RC798, do you reckon Palace win their Europe bid? Apparently there is real concern that Palace are going to miss out. You know, there's real concern about it. Kuz, football is played on grass, not stats. We watch him with our eyes. We know Hazard is better. Who do you support, Kuz? Because I'd be very surprised to hear who that is. But I agree football is not played on stats. I'm not a stato. I'm not a stato. I totally agree, right? But what I would say to you is, what I'd be very surprised to hear is, or what I would say is with Eden Hazard, he was a great player to watch at times. But so was lots of others. So was Ben Arfa. So was Dimitri Payet. And I think they've got that great dribbling skill. And Neymar. Neymar's a prime example. The people who rate Neymar also rate Eden Hazard. I don't rate either. Honestly, I don't. I wouldn't have Neymar at his absolute peak at Liverpool. It's not my thing. Pure loyalist. No worries, man. I did see it come through, but I didn't see what it said. Kuz, yeah, but Hazard did more than those and Neymar top three. Yeah, again, I would imagine, yeah, and I expected you would feel that way, that Neymar and Hazard would be in your top three. That makes sense. Christopher Dinney, yes, let's go Australia. It was a great win at the end for the Aussies, wasn't it? RC798, I think it's basically widely acknowledged Salah is better than Hazard now was a debate 3 years ago. I don't think it was ever a debate. I really don't. I think Salah makes the difference in all the big games. Sexy Dexty, enjoyed the stream tonight. You've gained a new subscriber. I'm off now. See you, everyone. Go on, Australia. Good to have you, Sexy Dexty. Appreciate it. And yeah, we'll be back tonight for France v Spain. Do you think if Klopp had Balotelli, he would have got the best out of him? No. And he did have Balotelli, didn't he? He binned Balotelli off. Balotelli was at the club when Klopp was. Yeah. Neymar's not even better than... Neymar's nowhere near better than Suarez. Yeah, mate, Neymar is not even in the same league as Suarez. Michael, Neymar is playing in the Club World Cup, I believe. No, I don't think he is. No, Santos aren't in the World Cup. The Club World Cup. Aston King, what was full-time score? It was 1-0 to Australia. Australia won, Japan 0. Really surprising result. Japan had it. They were really good all game. It was a weakened Japan side, but yeah, you know, I'm disappointed. Really disappointed. Michael, Neymar spoiled his reputation by constant diving, going to Paris Saint-Germain. Didn't really do in the big games. Yeah, just not good enough, I don't think. Not good enough. Neymar's more of a legacy player, says Connor. And RC798, I prefer Slot as a bloke. Slotter's a very good player, yeah. And Neymar sleeping with his sister doesn't help. Oh, God. Well, yeah, maybe you're right. Maybe I've got that one wrong. Going to PSG was the killer for me for Neymar. Yeah. Who's better, Prime Owen or Prime Fowler? Prime Fowler is better than Prime Michael Owen. Prime Robbie Fowler is better than most. Prime Robbie Fowler, before the knee injury, is better. Have a look at Prime Robbie Fowler when he was 17 to 21. He was up there with Shearer and R9 and Romario. He was unbelievable. That period of Robbie Fowler was fantastic. But then he did his knee and he was never the same again. Kind of the same as Ronaldo. Just one of them things. But yeah, first 3 or 4 years, Robbie Fowler was the best. In fact, I still say that up to now. Robbie Fowler is the best teenager we have ever seen in the Premier League. Ever. Ever. We have never seen a teenager hit the Premier League like Robbie Fowler did. Scored 30 goals like 3 seasons running as a teenager. It's absolutely outrageous. Just a top player. Top player. Really shame. Another one of those players that just injuries just curtailed their career. But yeah, listen. It's obviously it's still early. We're only on 2:15, but we are going to be back tonight for France against Spain in the UEFA Nations League semi-final. So if you're joining us for that, make sure you click up there, make sure you follow, make sure you get over to YouTube as well. Go and follow Premier League Dad. Give us a like, give us a subscribe. If you're watching on YouTube, thank you for watching. Thanks for all the comments, all the love. Give us a like and a subscribe and all that good stuff. And I will see you all tonight at 6:30 for France against Spain. I'll be back